What's up, and welcome back to the Unreal Podcast. Oh, wait, I have a friend today. If you would like to introduce yourself to the masses, all 17 of them.
I'm Day.
Day is in Monday.
Every day.
Tuesday.
Today.
Wednesday. Today. Yesterday. The other day.
What a day.
Day in Ohio. The Daytona 500.
Daytona.
Days Gone was a really good video game. 28 Days Later.
Day. What else?
The Day of Reckoning. All right. Anyway, yes, I have my pal on here with me today. Also, hold on. Let me adjust this a little bit. You hear my upstairs neighbor right now? This is like an everyday fucking thing. I feel like I'm talking. Maybe I should move this further back because I'm so fucking loud. Okay. That ought to do it. Anyway, so yes, folks, this is gonna be weird. I'm so used to looking. Also, if you're gonna look at the lens. I used to look at don't look at the TV because then people are gonna be like, what the fuck are you looking at? So, yeah, guys, this is my new little setup, right? This is gonna be my guest setup. I'm digging this right now as I'm looking at it.
I like it.
And I told you guys, they thought I was lying. They were like, you're not gonna have more guests. You don't have any fucking friends. You're a loser. That's what I convinced myself that everybody said. And but now here we are. So this is the first. This is gonna be the first when I drop it. It's gonna be on January 1st. We're gonna be kicking off the fucking new year with my pal. And also, in case you guys are wondering, yes, that's alcohol. There is alcohol in this. And no, she's not 13 years old. How often do people still... How often... Wait, you are actually 24?
24 and a quarter.
24 and a fucking quarter. How often do you still get mistaken for, like, somebody who's under the age of 16?
I get ID'd, like, all the time.
But see, here's
no matter
the thing.
what.
Like, sometimes I do get ID'd, sometimes I don't. And when I don't, I'm like, do I look 35? Because I fucking hope not. Because, listen, I moisturize.
My mom was so offended today when she didn't get ID'd. She was like, yo, like, I got it out of my wallet and everything, and they had the nerve.
Word! Like, oh, can I? It's like, oh, no, you don't need that. Like, wait, I'm 25. Like, what the fuck?
Like, we can see you.
That's fucked. Yeah, for me, I'm like, I used to think it was so cool. I'm like, oh, as soon as I turn 21, they're not even IDing me. But then I'm like, damn, they think I'm twice my age. So
I think I'm gonna be ID'd for the rest of my life, probably.
Oh, you definitely will. You will definitely be ID'd for the rest of your life because you'll never. What are you, 4'11"?
I'm 5.
For being gracious.
5.
You are 5 now. You're 5 feet.
Even.
Ooh.
5 even and like a quarter inch.
Well, let me tell you something. I don't know much about math, but if you were 5 even and a quarter inch, you would not be 5 even. You would be 5 and a quarter inch.
Well, technically, let the record show
that you're trying to get off of a technicality.
5 feet and a quarter inch.
5 foot and a quarter inch, 24 years old, stepping into the ring with the most hated. So all right, we literally also, guys, just FYI, we didn't have anything planned to talk about. So this is gonna be weird. I gotta get used to talking to the thing. I'm looking all over.
Yeah.
So if my eyes, for those of you watching, if my eyes look like they're fucking spazzing out, like my eyes have fucking Parkinson's or something. It's not that. I'm not tripping. It's just that I'm adjusting to the new lights and trying to figure out where to look.
Quite bright.
See, it was simple before because I just looked straight ahead. Mm-hmm. But now I got to look to the left. And it's like, and I got to find the lens and make sure that the microphone is still in front of me and that I'm not talking too loud and shit, which I'm pretty sure I have been the whole time.
Yep, probably.
But
like
anyway, so since April you've been in the city, right?
I have, yep.
How's that been? Used to live here. Used to live in old Kingston.
Yo, 845.
And the 845.
The 845.
How are you liking New York City?
I think I like it. There are a lot more options for literally everything there. You can get everything delivered, which is like...
Oh, yeah. It can be 4 a.m. You get some fucking...
Oh, my God.
Chinese
wings.
or some shit. Chicken wings.
Chicken wings. I always want chicken wings.
And they all just deliver? Do you got... See, and you can probably do Grubhub and
There's
Postmates
Grubhub,
and all that shit.
Seamless, Postmates.
You know what's funny? I tried to... they did
Uber
this like
Eats.
thing... They did this
Which
thing
I
where
don't
if you...
trust for some reason.
Really?
Like Uber Eats, I don't know. Like
probably because Uber just dropped an ad. So check this out, right? You see that there was like this thing going around where like people are getting nervous about using Uber because they're scared that like shit's gonna happen. And then Uber dropped an ad and they were like, if you ever feel unsafe, tap this button. And I'm like, the fact you guys had to drop that fucking ad probably means you're having a lot of unsafe occurrences. Probably not the best thing to promote. Like, I get it. You're trying to let everyone know they're safe. But it's like, hey, by the way, if you become one of the 20,000 people who got assaulted this year, just tap this button and you'll be okay.
And that's it. You're fine. You're cleansed of all your sins. Also, like, it's like a doozy.
So I don't blame you for your distrust in Uber Eats, but yeah, I tried.
I feel like they would just eat my fries,
Oh, I would. If I was an Uber driver.
Out of all the delivery services, Uber Eats would definitely eat your fries.
I would. They definitely would. You drop it off, you're like, wait, didn't I get a large? No, I don't think so. I think you got a medium.
Strange.
I think you got half a large. That's what you ordered. That's what you put in the fucking app. I just looked. But yeah, I tried Postmates one time because they did this thing where like if you sign up, there was like a free $100 credit or some shit. I think it was like a YouTuber's promo code or something.
Oh, cool.
And so I did it, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah! I was at work, I was hungry, I was like, I'm gonna order something, and I went to do it, and it's like, no drivers in your area. It's like, sorry, we don't service your area, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, I know
right? There's no
it's like
Uber
sort of the
here.
boonies, but like we just got Uber in New Paltz, which for those of you who don't know, New Paltz.
Well, we got it like last year, right?
Yeah, we just got it last year, and Uber's been around since
I remember
like
it was
fucking.
on Emily's birthday because we all went out. We were like, yeah, we're getting Uber home, but there wasn't like an Uber.
Yeah, and then you call the Uber, and it's like, hold on, we gotta wake this guy up. Like your Uber driver's asleep. Let's wake him up. Give us an hour. He'll be.
Yeah, he's not scheduled yet, so.
That reminds me. Oh, you're gonna get a kick out of this. I don't know if I ever told you this. Oh no, that was one of the other things I wanted to do. I wanted to do some storytelling because you were there for some of these.
Oh gosh.
But you were not there for this one. I don't think. This is it's a good Uber taxi story.
Okay,
I think I just told it a little while ago, but it'll be funny to get a reaction. So, I was out at New Paltz one night, and I was having some interactions with a woman of the provocative nature.
Provocative interactions.
And to make a long story short, she's crazy, and we ended up at her house. All right, those are the only two things that really matter in this story.
You're like, boom, I'm here for that.
And we go in her house, and when you first walk in, the staircase up to her room is like right in the doorway. Like you literally walk in, and then like you can go to the left or right, or you just walk straight up to her room. So we did, and I'm paranoid the whole time.
Stairs right next to the door. First of all, I just want to say is very dangerous.
Oh, that's so
I have
unsafe.
personal stories with stairs being right next to the front door, and I don't.
First of all, we're gonna revisit that, but it's so unsafe. It just seems very fucking architecturally dangerous. It's just not a good idea overall. But whatever, here I am, right? And I'm just paranoid the whole time because I'm like, it's this white girl, and like her parents are fucking probably gonna wake up with a shotgun, like big black eye up in their fucking house. Yeah. And at the time, she was my age. She was like 22, 23, but I'm still like, nah, this ain't. She still is home, so it's like their fucking house, their rules. So I'm paranoid the whole time, and she was fucked up, and I kept trying to leave, and she kept like making me feel bad. She was like, "You're just gonna leave," and I was like, "Well, that's the fucking plan, but you're not really letting me do that right about now."
That's why I'm trying to go this way.
But I'm like, and I'm not trying to argue because I'm like, if she gets too loud, then her parents are gonna go. Then she texts me and she's like, my mom was like, what was that noise? I just told her nothing. And I'm like, what? She's gonna come up here and investigate. So now here I am. I'm just trying to rack my brain. I'm like, let me maneuver my fucking way out of this household.
Like climb out of the window.
So no, I just ended up honestly after about 20 minutes of very thorough deliberation, I was just like, I'm just gonna bolt. I'm just gonna run for the fucking door down these dangerous ass fucking steps, and we'll see what happens. So I did. I bolted out the house. Somehow, miraculously, did not fall, didn't hurt myself or anything. I get outside. Also, it was pouring raining this night. No exaggeration. I get outside. I get to her street, right? I do a little sharp turn, and I just book it to the end of the street. I keep looking back. I'm like a fucking running back in the Super Bowl. I'm looking back, and I'm like, there's nobody here. And then I make it. I throw my hands up like fucking Rocky. I'm like, I made it to the end of the street. Right? Now we're sitting at like 3 a.m. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just going to call a cab and go home.
Just in the rain?
Just pouring rain, just sitting on the ledge over by fucking like Forsyth. And I'm just like, I'm going to call. Yeah. And this is when I lived in Port Ewan, okay?
Oh my
So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to call a cab and get a cab ride home and I'll be good to go. I call a cab and they're like, they pick up and they're like, sorry, the cabs don't run until 6 a.m. And I'm like, two things. First of all, why? Why the fuck don't you have cabs running all night? Secondly, why'd you pick up the phone? Why did you even answer the phone? Like, are you just the owner and you're on standby, but you're not? You're like fake on call. Like, you pick up and you're like, yeah, I'll be there in fucking 3.5 hours.
It was like, nah.
Didn't make any sense. So now I'm like, fuck. And then I just saw some kid I knew walking on the street at 3 a.m. No idea why. He was hammered. And I still was like, yo, man, anybody can help me get home? And he was like, nah, man, I'm fucked up right now, bro. And I was like, yeah, I can see that. So luckily a friend of mine happened to be at the diner right uptown. And he ended up bringing me home. But I still sat in the rain for like a half an hour. And yeah, no Ubers. Uber would have been very helpful back then. I would have even taken.
It's
you know
still
what?
like shitty now.
I would have gladly taken being assaulted by a male Uber driver just to fucking get home on time if I had to. Because the cabs weren't running.
It'd be worth
I was
it.
like,
It'd be worth it.
I was like, bro, you can touch my butt cheek if you bring me home right now. Because I'm not trying to sit in this rain for 3 fucking hours.
Oh my god.
Like,
yeah, that's how you.
But
get
I want to hear your
sick.
fucking your stare stories.
It's not really
multiple ones.
It's no. Well.
Why are you? My question is, that's the only time I've ever seen that. Where are you going that you've seen multiple locations with that kind of fucking setup where the stairs are right in the? Or are you talking about like entering an apartment building?
No, just like okay. So I went to my like friend's apartment, After we were drinking, yeah, my friend's friend. Friend's friend. And I, like, got into the apartment, and I was like, cool, whatever, like, I'm gonna take my shoes off. And I untied my shoes, and I went to lean on the wall next to the door that did not exist. And I just straight up just boom, 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 boom. And I was just I was at the bottom of the stairs, like
you fell down the fucking stairs?
I felt that the stairs were literally right next. It was a duplex.
So and you're sitting here on the stairs and you're like, oh.
No, I walked in and it's like, oh, there's the kitchen and everything. And I was like, oh, the stairs must be like around the corner. The stairs were right next to me. So I just like went to lean on the wall that didn't exist to take my shoe off and just fucking like, and I was just like at the bottom of the stairs, like, and everyone else is drunk. They're like, are you okay? And I was just like, just leave me here for a second. Like, I just need to.
Oh, you have to. If you ever have, like, a fucking hard fall or something.
Touch me.
You just gotta lay there and accept
my glasses are all fucked up still. Like,
still.
I wear them to work, and I have to, like, tuck a piece of hair under them because they're, like, lopsided. So if I tuck my hair underneath, then it, like, evens it out.
Oh, that's why I just be rocking blind. My glasses, like, stretch them out in my big fucking head, and now every time I put them on, they just fall off. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll just take my chances to be blind out here. Like, you know, sometimes you can read a street sign, sometimes you can't. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you see some oncoming traffic, sometimes you don't. Like,
sometimes you don't.
I'm just running that fucking risk.
That chance. You gotta.
That's funny as fuck, though. So other than taking some stumbles on some stairs, the city's been treating you good so far. Where are you working now? You were. I
do wine retail now, so I'm at a couple wine shops.
Wine retail. That's fancy. Retail.
It sounds way fancier than it is. I sell people wine, which is funny because I remember like quitting my chef job and being across the street. Like I was at the Whole Foods that's across the street from my job right now, and I was like looking at my friend and I was like, why can't I just get a job like there? And then like I remember,
you fucking did it.
And then I got the interview the next day, and I was like, holy shit, that is so crazy. So yeah, so now I work at.
You interview and they're like, so what qualifies you to be here? It's like, to be honest, I just thought to myself yesterday, I should just fucking work here.
This just sounds lit.
Here we are now. It just sounds lit.
Look at you. Look at me. We would be great together.
Like, look, listen. This is a fucking match made in heaven. Like, look, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I'm an alcoholic. So, who better? You know what I'm saying?
Like, aren't we all trying to make each other better people?
Like, what? Listen, wouldn't a mass murderer fucking be hired at a gun store? I mean, come on. This is common sense. Like, you gotta think about the fucking type of people.
He'd be an undercover murderer, but yes.
An undercover murderer? I'm like,
yeah, really, before the murders, yeah.
It's like, I'll be like, first of all, you ever watch the show You? Have you watched that?
No, and I probably will never watch it. What? Because I watched the first episode and I was not. I'm like one of those people that, like, if I watch a movie in the first 20 minutes isn't, like...
Oh, that's the worst.
Captivating. And then I'm not going to spend the rest of the hour, and I have to watch the rest of it. So I watched the first episode, and I was like, nah.
So you only watch shows that are good from the get-go?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're watching nothing, basically.
I watch.
There's, like, no shows that are good right off the rip.
Watchmen. That was a really good show.
I heard good things about that. I actually been
best show I saw this year. The Watchmen. And Regina King is just like hot.
So she's so fine. They posted for her birthday the day. She's like 50 something. Where?
Where?
Vivica A. Fox is like 127. And looks fine as fuck still.
Looks so good.
Angela Bassett. Oh, that's babe.
Oh, Angela. God, she's like what, like
Bassett.
95.
Angela
yeah, she looks
Bassett.
great.
Yo, Bassett. Oldest. I'm pretty sure Oprah is a vampire. Oprah's been alive since like 1806.
Missy Elliott.
Word, even Missy Elliott.
Pharrell, definitely a vampire.
Yo, these people. Oh no, Pharrell. I've seen him in like the first photograph. Like literally, the first picture that was ever taken.
He was just in the back with a pitchfork.
He's just in the back. He's just like, I'm happy. There's a picture of a pilgrim and fucking Pharrell. I'm happy. Like that's the first fucking photo in existence. But yeah, that's why they say black don't crack. Is oh man, really especially. But it's gonna be interesting. I've always wondered what I'm gonna look like when I'm like 80. And I'm like, I feel like I'm going to be one of those people with just like flash white hair, like Snow White. I'm going to have that really white hair. But see, once I start to bald, listen, let me tell you something. Men, all the fellas listening to this, okay? And watching, all right? If your hairline starts to go, if you don't have Tory Lane's money to go get that fucking surgery, all right, then just give it up. Just go bald.
Hair surgery?
You didn't hear about that? He had like literally his hair, it was like fucking... hair reassignment. Like, you know how you get a skin graft? They might be like, oh, his face is fucked up because he got hit by a bus. Mm-hmm. Let's take part of his ass cheek and put it on his face. It's like that with hair. So they'll be, I don't know where they
Like
get it
leg
from. I don't know if it's
hair?
like pube hair or
Right.
fucking arm or leg
Pube
hair.
would probably be the smartest.
Honestly, I don't know, but wherever they did, they like some fucking genius was like, here, let's take this hair off of his pubes, cut it up, and just like implant. I don't know what they do, but he's got hair now, a lot.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure LeBron did it.
Did he though? Because I feel like his hairline came off.
LeBron's be hit or miss. I think LeBron wears like fucking. He does
like
this,
I
like
saw
a
a video
really
where
good
it just
toupee.
like it was just like back here, and they were like, "Yo,
Like
bring
one
it,
in
bring
one
it back down."
episode, in one episode, like one game, you'll see his hair and it looks beautiful, and then another game you see it and it looks like somebody set a field of crops on fire and then it burned for like an hour and then stopped. Then it's like
Nobody put it out.
it's like hit or
Everyone just
miss.
watched.
But everybody's just like, damn, it's like, yo, you see that field of crops burning over there? Yeah, that's crazy.
Not my
What are you about to do
crops.
tonight though? Not my crops, not my hashtag.
not my
not
crops,
my
not
crops.
my problem.
Not my cops, not my fucking problem. But yeah, so yeah, there's that. But nah, listen, man, if you identify as a man, let me be inclusive here. This is 2020.
2020.
He, him, they, them, she, shim, sham, him, homs. If you apply to any of those and
I like
beyond,
that, Homs.
and your hairline is receding, just give it up. Just go bald.
Shave it.
Because why be? Let me tell you something. Any % bald looks worse than 100% bald.
100% bald, you kind of just have to accept it. Especially when you first
There's
meet
no
that person like that, you're just like, oh, they
If
just
you're
look
100%
like that.
bald, there's no expectation. If
Yeah.
you're only partly bald, if
Yeah.
you're like missing 20% of your hair, everybody's like, where the fuck's the 20%? Where is the rest?
What did you do?
We want to know what the fuck you did with the rest of your
I'm like
hairline.
kinda,
If you're
I
full
think
bald,
I'm
everybody's like,
kinda
oh, he's
into,
bald.
like, bald guys.
Really?
I think it all started with Common.
What do you think? But see, here's the thing. What about? I feel like black guys look better bald. I think white guys either look immaculate bald or like serial killers. There's no.
Well, I
in-between.
feel like if you're a bald white guy, you have to have a lot of facial hair.
Well, see, that's the thing. I
You have
fuck
to,
with
like,
that. If you got
balance
that
it
full
out.
facial hair with the
Right,
bald,
yeah,
that's a good look.
That's
these
a good
days, I
look.
feel
That's a
like.
good look.
But if you're
sure.
just like straight up completely bald and you look like fucking Powder from the, you ever seen the movie Powder? Dude, hold on, I'm gonna show you because you're gonna be fucking nuts. If you look like for those of you who don't know,
Powder.
I'll throw a picture up on here. But if you go full bald and you look like fucking, if you look like Powder, first of all, I typed in Powder and it just was like powders, like various different powders, like crushed up minerals and makeup and shit. This is from the movie.
Oh my god! What is this movie about?
It's called Powder. You never seen it? All right.
No.
Side note:
Yeah.
Powder is a beautiful fucking motion picture. It's about this
I want to
kid.
know how many of you have actually seen this movie because I feel like he's.
I
making it
answer it now.
You're
Zero.
making
Zero. Only me because it's just a very weird movie. But I'm pretty sure
Powder.
I haven't seen it in a while. But it's about this like kid who has like this like psychic power type. It's like a Carrie type of thing where they
Okay.
fuck with the kid a lot, and then he just goes ballistic and lightning shoots out of his fucking hands, like some crazy shit. But it's really good though.
But he's
It's not
bald.
like he's just like
And he's
bald. I
just
think he's
born
albino.
like that?
That's what it is. He's albino. He's bald albino. He's rocking that bald albino look.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good movie. But yeah, if you are a white dude and you don't have facial hair, probably gonna come out looking like
Just wear a
Powder.
permanent beanie, I think.
Just get a beanie. Oh, I would wear. See, that's the
A
thing.
beanie implant.
You ever heard of the phrase hat fishing?
Oh yeah, it's when like guys
I feel like
wear
I hat
hats.
fish people a lot.
Dude,
I'm not
no,
gonna
let me
lie.
see that.
Well, no. See, all right. So check it out. Right now, I have a recent haircut, so I don't think it's that bad.
No.
It's not that bad, and the beard is coming in.
Yeah, the
Patchy as
beard.
it may still be. Oh, look, I just looked at the screen. Look, I look like a fucking idiot. Patchy as it may still be. Okay, the beard's getting there. I've been using beard oils. I've been fucking
A whole
you know.
regimen.
Oh yeah, I've been using combs made out of fucking like oak. And I don't know what just happened to my voice there, but using all these different combs and all these devices. It's like a whole I go in there and it's like, now I see why women take so long.
Yeah.
Because I shower in 10 minutes and I'm working on the beard for like half an hour. This is a lot of
Do
this is
you
a long
use like
process.
Head and Shoulders for everything?
No, I use like all different shades like Dove and fucking
Okay.
Dove Men's. Mostly.
You're the other category.
You know what's funny? I just saw somebody, I think it was Partisan Fontaine actually, was talking about how he uses Secret and how people don't know like Secret is like a unisex deodorant.
Yeah.
But I'm about to start fucking with Secret. You can't go wrong. If you know somebody who's rocking Secret, their BO is
like
the Secret.
cucumber melon is the
You're
BO
talking about-
is
Wait, cucumber melon like scented deodorant? I thought it was like no
I
scent,
fucks with
honestly.
that.
I thought the scent was just to mask the bullshit. Like, the scent is to not smell like shit. Like, when you buy Secret, it's just not shitty on the
Cancels out your
fucking
BO.
thing.
I use natural deodorant, so
Wait, what? What is natural deodorant?
it's just like
Made out of, like-
aluminum free, like.
Hold on. If deodorant is aluminum free, then that means there are deodorants that are aluminum have aluminum in it.
It's actually like a thing. Like if you're like
what?
of color, and you know those people that have like darker armpits, it's because they use.
That's me.
They use.
Are you fucking with me right now?
Deodorant that has aluminum in it. Yes, I'm being serious.
Hold on, because I'm not even exaggerating. I have like dark spots in my armpits,
yes.
and I always thought I was just dying.
It's aluminum.
I was always just like, this is just like a slow death.
At least that's what I'm sure it is. I can't. What? I mean, I'm not a scientist.
So that's not. I dead ass always wonder because I'm like, wait a minute.
Yes.
It's not like why is this happening?
I wish I was wearing a short sleeve shirt.
God.
Oh no, you gotta edit that out. Wow, I'm sweating.
Okay, so there's gonna be just.
Whoa!
There's gonna be in the video of it. There's just be like a little 20-second blank spot. It was like a smiley face on it. I'll make sure I edit that out for you. The audio is fine though, so the listeners will still know.
Good God!
But man, my shit probably looks fucking wrecked. I've been loading up. I used to use.
I'm like, yeah, natural deodorant doesn't really have antiperspirant.
My shit looks like I just came out of the pool. It's like, dude, it's fucking December, bro. Where'd you just come from, man?
I feel like it gets worse like in the wintertime because I feel like my body's like overcompensating for heat.
See, I have to say, I don't
turn that bitch up.
I actually don't sweat. Like I don't really get much of that like back or armpit sweat, but let me tell you something. My head is a fucking faucet.
Radiator.
It's so bad. Like I take my hat off and water just comes fucking leaking out everywhere I go. I sweat outside in the winter from my head. I'm like, what is happening? Meanwhile, I'm the person who wants to move to fucking California next year. That's gonna be some rough adjustments.
It depends on what part you move to because.
Dude, anywhere. I'm just gonna start wearing a backpack with an air conditioner on it. And walk around with a generator. They're gonna be like, "Yo, did you see that guy walking down fucking Rodeo with a generator on his back? That's kind of cool, man." It's like he looked weird, but he wasn't sweating. I noticed.
He's ready though.
Like he looked kind of weird, but I noticed he wasn't sweating. That's pretty cool.
Anyway, aside from the pit stains, my armpits have like gotten lighter from using like natural deodorant.
That's crazy because I actually really didn't have that problem. I still do. It's really bad.
And it's like when you use the aluminum deodorant, I feel like when you don't wear deodorant, your BO is like up there. Yeah. But like mine isn't that bad now that I'm like when I forget to put deodorant on, it's like still smells, but it's like not. You know what though? It's so also pungent, like you know.
BO is very situational. Like if I'm at the club or the bar and I smell like shit, everybody smells like shit.
Well, sweat.
So it's like. If we're all out there dancing and sweating,
sweat, like activity sweat. I don't know.
See, and that's the thing. Sweat. I fucking hate sweating.
Sweat is like
if I'm prepared to sweat, like for example, if I know I'm gonna go do an athletic event or I'm going on a hike or something, I have no issue sweating. But when it's an inconvenience, oh my god, it pisses me off. Like if I'm just
really supposed to
if I'm in a fucking meeting at work and I'm sweating, I'm like, why the fuck am I sweating right now? This has to stop.
Like here,
I'm here for another hour.
Really.
Or like if I'm anywhere and it's like quiet and all I can think about is why I'm sweating so fucking much. Yeah. And every 2 seconds I'm like, fuck. I got like my hands are dripping now.
Like a handkerchief?
I do no bullshit. Like, I literally carry a bandana around sometimes.
You gotta.
And I'll just be prepared. Like, and I'll be trying to be slick with it. I'll be like, yeah, that's crazy. Oh my god, wow, it's kind of hot in here.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like what I actually think is that I'm melting. But yeah, I never heard of. That's so fucking fascinating. Now I'm gonna do a lot of research on that.
You should look into it.
Now I'm about to go natural because them spots. I always wondered.
I will say when you go natural, the first 3 weeks are your body like getting everything out, so it's like
it's gonna be real
terrible.
stinky.
But you know.
Yeah,
I think it's worth it. After that first month, you just like your body like just feels better.
That is so weird. I really seriously used to always wonder. I'd be like, why the fuck are my armpits 7 shades darker than the rest of my body?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But now that makes an abundant amount of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So folks,
natural
go all natural. Make the switch. All right, so one of the other things I wanted to nice. I burp a lot on the
that felt so good
on the podcast. I always think too. I used to try so hard to be like to not do those noises like the burps and the the fucking clearing the throat.
Yep.
But it just happens, and now I let it rock. I could edit it all out, but I'm like, fuck it. Like, listen, guys.
We all.
This is me.
Poop.
This is me. You know, I didn't realize.
We all poop. We all fart.
I used to think.
We all burp.
I used to think girls didn't poop till I was like 12. I thought until I was like 12.
I obviously never had that.
I thought until I was like 12. I was like, nah. I was like, somebody was like, yo, this girl just. I don't even know how I found out about it. It was just like, yo, I think she was like in the bathroom pooping all night, and I'm like, wait a minute. Pooping? I'm like, girls don't poop, bro. What are you talking about?
Tell me there's a girl right now.
Like, you can tell me.
Pooping.
There's a chick in the bathroom pooping. I used to also think that women's bathrooms like all had couches and shit in them. Because some do.
Some of them do, yeah. Like,
but I used to think that was, like, standard.
Department stores, though, like Macy's.
I thought women's bathrooms were just, like, a chill
JCPenney's.
spot. I didn't even think women used the bathroom. I thought, if anything, like, if you peed, that was a lot. Like, if anything, you just go in there and you just chit-chat and, like, there's, like, snacks and shit in there or something. Yeah, the powder room.
Railing.
Yeah, the powder room is a fucking, just a big line of Coke on the bathroom sink. And you go in there and bang out a rail.
Best case scenario, yes.
Best case, you go in there and bang out a rail and you're just, like, fucking good to go. Speaking of Coke, so before I get into the other thing I was going to talk about, so working in the restaurant business, it's an accurate thing to say that a lot of people who work in the restaurant business do Coke to keep up, right?
I mean, we do a lot of things. Like, if you don't do Coke, you do Adderall. You know, it's like one of those things where it's like one or the other.
See, it's funny because I've always wondered. So,
I don't do Adderall.
so if you want to know why that was so funny, you're just gonna have to watch at youtube.com/UnrealDevinWood. Shameless plugging, but no, it's so in my whole life, all I've ever done is smoke weed and drink in my life ever. That's the only things I've ever done, and I've always wondered what I would be like, but because of like my mother's history and shit, and I'm like, you know what? Let me not even step down the road. But I think if I was gonna ever try anything, it would either be ecstasy or shrooms.
Well, you can't do those at work.
Well, no.
So that's the thing.
Well, it depends on where you work, I guess. But no, I wouldn't do that.
That's the thing, like, people in the industry, first of all, we don't get enough sleep. We're overworked. So
when you do that shit, it just makes you, like, it's
stimulating.
Yeah, but it doesn't make you, like, it doesn't actually cause any, like, differences in mindset or nothing.
No. It's more like being awake or being, like, more relaxed.
Because being in a kitchen, did I ever tell you about my one experience in the restaurant business?
I don't think so.
Oh, you're going to fucking love this. Oh, man. All right. So, this is my first and last ever experience in the restaurant business.
Was it at, like, Quiznos or something?
No, it was at this place called, I think it was the Rhinecliff Hotel or something. It was some fancy place in Rhinebeck, in Rhinecliff, whatever. And my mother worked there. So, my mother has worked at a billion fucking restaurants. Like, she loves it. And I know from her, like, she tells me, like, yo, if you aren't able to keep up, like, that shit gets fucking rough. Like, that's why her calf muscles look like fucking The Rock's arms. Like, your shits are probably brought too from just fucking having to constantly move around and be on your feet all day.
They're pretty nice.
So,
I wouldn't say they're like
nice
up there, but
so I wouldn't say they're up there. They're there.
I mean, they're not down there.
They're on their fucking way there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're getting there fast.
It's a good median.
It's a good median.
Like, we'd set the bar there, I think, at my cabs.
So she worked at this restaurant, and they were catering a wedding one time. And she said that they needed extra help, so she enlisted me and like a friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And
do I know this friend?
Who was it? I can't remember if it was. I think it was Jacob, maybe. I can't remember, but whatever the case. So here's the interesting thing, though. They did family style for it. Okay. So they were just serving, like, each table would have, like, a main dish, which I thought was weird because it was like, I'm pretty sure they each only got one dish. So it's like they must have had to all agree on one thing, which is kind of whack. Because actually, I ate it.
Sometimes you do it by table too. Like,
well, maybe that's why. I ate at Carmine's last night, which, by the way, great, horrible waiting. Yeah. Okay. But it was famous style. But we got, like, just fucking huge plates, and then we split the couple things.
Yeah.
But so yeah, they were doing family style. And I remember, like, we were setting up and shit. And right off the rip, it was a horrible situation for me because the tables were so close. Like, when I tell you the chairs were literally, like, 6 inches apart. I hate that. And that was without anybody sitting there. They try to
cram. So when you're, like, in a restaurant, they try to, like, they have a small space, so they try to use, they try to optimize the use.
Exactly. Which, like, I
get it, but it's like, come on, you can't,
man.
Like, stretch or, like, say something funny and, like, throw your arms back without slapping, like, an old lady in the face.
You sneeze and you just fucking punch Aunt Martha in the face or something like that. Like, it's not, it don't work. So there was already that, because in order to get, like, to set shit up, like, I'm working, without people sitting yet, just to set shit up, we're maneuvering between these tables. And then they were like, all right, one of the people working, they were like, all right, let's go in here and cut some bread, right? Mm-hmm. So you're going to love this because you know how to do it. All right, so this is going to be really funny to you. To me, I'm just like, all right, I'm going to just go cut some fucking bread. Right. I go in there and I start cutting. I'm like 2 slices in and like, she's like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, cutting bread? No, she's
what
like,
does it look like?
This type of bread goes in this basket and you have to cut the slices like this. They have to be the same size and then you have to fold it in a certain way so that you can put other type of bread on the other side of like the fold. Something like, I'm like, what? I'm like, first of all, I was shocked enough that it wasn't just a loaf of white bread. Like, I'm already taken aback by the fact that we got different breads, right. Okay? So I'm under immense pressure. I'm wearing an uncomfortable fucking dress outfit, which was white. I'll get to that in a second why that's important. I'll get to that. So here I am. under pressure. I'm in a kitchen. I've never done this before, and I'm fucking up the bread. I knew it was gonna be a long night. I fucked up the bread. Okay. So whatever. They showed me how to do it. I finally finished cutting up some bread, and then all of a sudden guests start to come in, and before you know it, we're in the kitchen, lined up to bring the food out. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this
so you
place
were doing in front of the house. Like serving.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we were literally bringing the food out. No. So in front of the house. Thank God, because I'm pretty sure that marriage would have ended in divorce if they were eating my fucking food. They would have been like, "Listen, babe, you picked the fucking food."
Like, how do we undo this?
Like, how do you uneat something? Because this is disgusting. So anyway, no. Luckily for that beautiful couple, I did not cook the food. But what I did do, what I was tasked with, was bringing some of the food out. So the way she was doing it was, and honestly, to be completely honest with you, I wouldn't be able to tell because I haven't worked in these places, but from my perspective, it seemed poorly managed, which is already recipe for disaster.
Most places,
right?
I think, yeah.
So she's, like I said, she's got us all lined up. Now, the hallway that we were walking through, when I tell you that I had to literally, like, suck my stomach in against the wall, I felt like Spider-Man. I'm, like, sticking to the wall so people could walk by with these giant plates of food. So I'm like, whatever. What you would do though is whenever a person got up there, she would hand you the plate and tell you what table it was at, and you had to go. So that's another difficult thing for me. I don't work at this place or do this, and I'm like, I walk out.
Where's the fucking table?
I'm like, where the fuck is table 6? And I'm looking for numbers. I'm like, these fucking tables aren't numbered. And so I'm just so I'm like, next thing you know, I'm walking through the crowd, and I'm like looking at tables and hoping that they all look up at me excited because they think it's their plate. Right. So I'm looking around, I'm like, no, that's not 6. I'm like, 6? No, that's 4. 6. Here's your salmon. So. So we did that, and then I go back for the second plate, right, which was salmon, and so I held it, and a little bit of the sauce splashed onto my white shirt.
Oh no!
But I still had to bring the fucking plate out. Right?
Absolutely.
So I bring the plate out, and I'm
like mad hot too, just like
it was fucking.
You just
had
to smile
hot.
Through it, like.
So what I did was I'm holding this hot plate in one arm now. I'm like, because here I'm at an impasse. Here's a decision I have to make. Do I hold this plate with 2 hands, which would be the safer way, but expose this giant stain on my shirt? Mm-hmm. Or do I use one arm to cover the stain, the other hold the plate, and then I look a little bit classier? So I chose the latter. I chose the latter, which was not good for the health and safety of my arm, because that was a hot fucking plate. So I got this plate, and I walk over, and I'm like, here's your salmon, trying to hold in the pain, right? And then I go back, and she was just like, listen, we don't fucking need you here anymore, so...
we're please never come back.
So then they put me on. Now you can confirm this for me, but I would imagine that they would pretty much give this task to the absolute shittiest worker. They were like, "Yeah, do you want to just go upstairs and polish glasses?" And I was like, "Damn."
That's kind of a blessing, though. Like,
I was. Don't get me wrong. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" But at the same time, in my head, I'm like, "Damn, they already got glasses." So I'm not even polishing these for the party. So this ain't even necessarily needed right now. But whatever. So I go up there and I'm like having a good old fucking time. I'm polishing the fuck out of these glasses, and I'm like. And like, you know what? No, I'm gonna redeem myself. I'm like, these are the most fucking polished glasses you are ever gonna find.
They're gonna be so clean, they're blinding.
I'm like, I will bet you my whole fucking livelihood, these glasses will be polished as fuck. So I'm up there polishing glasses, right? I also felt bad because I'm like, damn, my mom's reputation's kind of on the line because she like recruited me.
Right.
And they're probably asked like, yo, does your son have like a fucking a mental illness or something? Like, what's wrong with him? Like, what's going on here?
He's obviously not normal.
Like, we asked him to fucking polish glasses and he had a really rough time with that. Meanwhile, I'm upstairs just polishing away, having the time of my fucking life. And then I thought it was so cool because they sent what's that thing called that goes up and down the food? That like
dumbwaiter?
Yeah, so they sent the dirty shit, the dumbwaiter. Dumbwaiter, which was me, which was also what they called me that night, the dumb waiter. So, and I'm like sitting there, and me and I think it was, I don't know if it was Jacob or somebody else different that was down there. We just kept sending shit up and down. Like next thing you know, we're sending fucking like notes up and down the dumbwaiter.
In the dumbwaiter.
Like, I said note down. It was like, hey fag. Another note came up and it was like, fuck you. And we're just not polishing glasses anymore, right? And then next thing you know, we're like, you know what? We don't really feel like polishing these glasses. Let's go downstairs. So now we go downstairs and we're eating the cupcakes from the party. And nobody cared.
Before they went out?
No, they were out, but everybody was fucked up at this point now in the wedding. So everybody's fucked up, and we're just like, we walk over, and some random person's like, hey, and I'm like, hey, I'm eating their cupcakes and shit, and then that was like it. But yeah, needless to say, I think that was the last time I'll ever work in a restaurant. It was just not.
That wasn't even a restaurant. It was just like a catering.
That's the thing. It wasn't even regular. It was catering. Like where you have no pressure as an individual, basically, because there's so many people. It's not like they can specifically be like, no, you were at this table, like, or your section was fucked up today, or that table complained about you. No, it was like, dude, you're working with 50 other people, and you can't cut the bread. So we don't want, needless to say, they didn't offer me, they did not extend an offer to me to come back. So, but yeah, I always wondered. So what do you think? All right, well, I'll ask you this too. What do you think is your craziest or worst experience at a restaurant? Be it like interactions with other staff.
Olive Garden.
Ooh, do
Working
tell.
at Olive Garden.
Do tell.
It's just like the way that it's set up is like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like the way that like you'd think like, okay, let me start over. The first line of defense in a restaurant would be the hostess or the host.
Right.
And they kind of organize the tables in a way so that it should be like staggered. Keyword. So that like when an order comes in, you have enough time to do like, or if 2 orders come in, you have enough time to do that before you have to do the next order. And it's kind of like but like Olive Garden, they just seat like 50 people at a time. So it's like, okay, instead of having to do like 10 appetizers, I have to do 20 appetizers. And at Olive Garden, you don't get tickets, which is kind of cool because, like, the noise of the ticket machine is kind of, like, PTSD.
Yeah,
like, I think about it when I'm sleeping, and I don't even work in restaurants right now, and I just hear the ticket machine, and I'm like, I just wake up out of my sleep, like, oh my god, what?
Like, fuck, I'm getting those eggs. You wake up in the middle of the night.
But it's, like, on the screen, there were different colors. Like, when the order came in, it was green. And then after, like, 2 minutes, it would be blue. And then
so it lets you know, like, oh, fuck, if we're in the red one, we gotta get that shit out.
5 minutes, it would be purple. And then after 5 minutes after that, it would be, like, red. And it's, like, you would just get your screen would fill up. And you're just, like, cool. I'll just, like, blah, 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 whatever. And then...
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah.
That's the kitchen. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
I've never worked at a kitchen, but... I imagine those are some of the sound effects, maybe. Pretty close to that.
But it was just like all of a sudden, like we were really busy. You just look up and the whole screen turns red, and you're just like,
you're like, oh fuck
my life. And then
we gotta make
point,
70 plates of fucking
at
chicken
that point, you're
Alfredo.
like, fuck it, like whatever. They've already been waiting for this long, so I'm just gonna do what I'm doing. I'm not gonna stress myself out by trying to put all these things out on time. But yeah, Olive Garden was like the worst. Because it was, like, a shitty setup, and that's actually how I cut my fingertip off, was at Olive Garden, because
How did you do that?
Okay, so at Olive Garden, they obviously have all their meats or whatever, like, vacuum packed and sealed up, whatever, and we were so busy that I was, like, rushing, and I just, like, went and grabbed a bag of meat, and I took a knife, and I was holding it, like, instead of, like, this, I was holding it like this, and I just sliced the fucking bag open, and I was like, whatever, blah, 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 and then I... Because you're just, like, under so much pressure, and you have that, what is that called? Like, when you... Adrenaline. That I didn't even feel it at first, and I was like, oh my god, this is, like, really bloody meat. Like, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh my fingertip was, like... And I was like, oh, shit. And then I was like, well, you know, like, when you're, like, a badass cook, you just, like, duct tape that shit. You duct tape that shit and
pour
you go on with your day. Yeah, like you just pour some lemon juice on there, like, yeah, it hurts so good. And you just wrap it up and you're like, yeah, fuck it. But like, I was like, a good fucking time. I cut through an artery, so it was like wouldn't stop. And I was like, oh fuck. So I wrapped it up and I was like, I looked at my boss and my boss looked over at me and he was like, at the time, I think his name was like Tim, and he's just like this Asian guy with a lisp. And he was such a sweetheart, but he looked at me, he was like, oh no, what are we gonna do? And I was like, I think I have to go to the hospital. And he was just like, oh fuck. And I was just like in the back office, and everyone's like, oh my god, let me see it. And I was like, first of all, fuck off. Like, oh my god,
Tim walks in, he's just like,
first of all, I didn't want to come to work today. Second of all, now I'm missing part of my finger. Second of all, I'm not gonna, or third of all,
I can imagine walking into some shit like that and being like, hey, two things. Anybody whose finger this is, and also, who died in here? By the way, you guys are doing great. Keep up the good work.
Well, yeah, the whole thing, too, we had to, like, throw everything away on that station.
Yeah.
Sanitize the entire thing, and then they had to get someone else to work my station, because obviously I had to go to the hospital. Damn. I ended up getting 13 stitches on one finger.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Hey, I got one, too. I don't know if... Wait, where the fuck?
One of my friends called it my nipple finger, so...
Did you ever see this?
No. Oh, wow. It looks like a little, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and also I have permanent, like, numbness in this finger.
Yeah, me too.
Like this now, when I go like this.
Nerves only grow back one or a 0.5 millimeter a year.
Well, that explains why I can hardly feel anything. Like, I could be, if I had this specific portion of my thumb pressed up against, like, a stove or some shit, 5 minutes in, I'd be like, oh, wow, my hand's been on the stove for 5 minutes. But the story of
that
this...
episode of SpongeBob where they're like, where they have it on the grill, like, and he's looking, he's like, ha! It's a fake hand.
And he's like,
and he's just like...
Did I ever tell you, do you know how I got this?
No.
What?
Yeah,
I thought you were there.
Was I there?
Would we remember if you were there? So this is what happened. My grandparents went away one weekend, and I threw a party. Mm-hmm. And me being the way that I am, like anytime I've ever had people over, even I just had people over last week too. I always have to clean everything before I go to bed. It's like this OCD thing. I'm like, I have to because then I can sleep good. Otherwise, I'm literally gonna be like in the middle of the night. I'm like, fuck, I can't. I'm not.
Right, or you have to think about doing it tomorrow.
Yes, and then you wake up and you're like, you're like half dead as it is, and you're like, nah, I gotta clean this shit. I'd rather just keep the fucking ball rolling off that fucking litness from last night. So here I am. Now it's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and people are starting to knock out, and I'm just cleaning up, and I was fucked up. Okay, I was hammered and high. And I'm washing the rim of the glass, right? And I'm just going like this. Clearly, I don't have very good experience with glasses. Mm-hmm. So I'm rubbing the edge of the glass.
You would think you did, but, you know.
Cleaning it. And I lied about this story for a long time. Okay, I always told people it was an accident, but it wasn't.
Wait, is this the time where you squeeze the glass to see if you could break it? That was what that was?
This is how it happened. I was literally like, now mind you, this is
I remember you telling me that, but I never
the top
knew
of
how
the glass,
it escalated to
the
that
top
point.
of a thin glass, right? Which was already, the top of the glass is the weakest point already.
Yeah.
And it's a thin fucking glass. And I'm just rubbing it. I'm like, I wonder if I press hard enough for it to break. So I'm like, And I push, and the way that it snapped inwards toward the inside of the glass, which is where my thumb was.
Like
that's
outward.
how it sliced. So it went,
fuck.
And next thing you know, I'm leaking, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, damn. So I take a dish towel, wrap around, right? And I'm just like, no, this is good. Then there starts to be blood soaking through the dish towel. I'm like, oh, this is not good. This is not okay. So I wake up Lexi, and I'm like, Lex, you got to bring me to the hospital. Because she wasn't drinking that night, because she was still like, she was only like 16 or 17 at the time, but she had a license. And I remember waking up, and she was like, Tevin, are you serious? Like, I gotta bring you to the hospital? You're fucking dumb. And that's why I lied about it. I was like, no, this was an accident. In her voice. I was like, it was an accident. Lex, you have to bring me to the fucking hospital. I was like, and I'm starting to get dizzy at this point. I'm starting to get woozy. I'm losing a lot of blood, right? Yeah. And I'm like, Lex, you gotta bring me. She's like, oh my God, whatever. So she brings me to the hospital, right? And I check in, and I tell her, I'm like, yeah, it's got a really bad cut. I'm like, it's pretty bad. And they're like, yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff. And I pulled it open, and everybody was like disgusted. And I was like, wait, y'all work here. If this is bad to you, this is bad. So Kingston Hospital, which was horrible.
The worst hospital in the area.
I'm sitting, they finally get me to a room.
Know.
Die first.
I would rather die than
if you're in a situation where your life is on the line, okay, and the options are death in Kingston Hospital, maybe try death first.
Death. It's also way less expensive to die.
Oh, yeah, If I'm literally in the middle of dying and they're like, we're going to bring you to Kingston, I just be like, just
cremate me now.
Come back in an hour and get my body. just get, you got a fucking flamethrower in the ambulance.
Toss me in the oven.
Just light me on fire real quick, scoop me up, put me in a fucking plastic cup, give me to my grandmother, we'll be fine.
I'm good.
So anyway, I'm sitting there, and they came in, they dressed it, right? But now 20 minutes have gone by. It was bleeding so much it bled all the way through the dressing to the point where it was starting to drip, right?
Oh,
so I'm
God.
like, okay.
Like, you obviously hit an artery.
Big time.
Like I did, yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, this is really bad. And I'm waiting for somebody, any fucking body, to come back and redress it. And there's just like nobody around. So I went into the bathroom, took the dressing off, wrapped it in a thick-ass mitten of paper towels. And they come back in, I'm like, hey, notice anything? Like, this is not a dressing, this is paper towels, just so you guys know. And the doctor's like, sorry it took so long. Yes, sorry, thanks, dude. So he takes it off, right? And he was going to go stitch it. And he's like, yeah, you definitely hit an artery. He's like, because it's bleeding too much. He's like, so then he tells me he had to sew or repair, whatever he said, the artery first.
Yeah, they have to close the artery.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm going to do that first. So I'm like, okay. Brings out a fucking needle the size of a baseball bat, okay?
To put in your hand,
and he was like, he had the two-handed. It was a two-hand needle. That shit, I thought he was going to bring a crew in. It was a big fucking needle. So he two-hands it, and the needle was the worst part. That was way worse than the cut and the bleeding. Mm-hmm. That hurt, because it literally went right in. Oh, and my God. And it burns, yeah. Oh, God. He put it in there, and I was like, fuck. It hurt so bad. So he does that, and then he's like cleaning it with water, and he gets everything done. I got a smiley face of fucking stitches. And then that was it. And then I went home like either late, I think it was later that night or the next morning or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it was so funny because I explained to my grandparents, like, oh, what happened? And I was like, I was just trying to be, trying to make sure there were no dirty dishes when you guys got back. So, because they didn't know I had a party, I was like, I was just trying to make sure there were no dirty dishes.
That sounds so good.
I just cleaned it, and my grandma was like, what happened? And I'm like, you fucking just know everything about me. You can see right through my bullshit. So, but I still lied to her. I was like, I had a few friends over. And then I was doing the dishes, which that was true, but I definitely did not admit until like recently. I just started admitting that I purposefully tried to break the glass. I was always telling people that I was just cleaning the glass.
What is recently like?
Like, what time is it? No. Probably like 2 years ago.
This morning.
2 years ago, I just started telling people about it. Before that, I was just lying. I was just like, I was just doing dishes,
how
and then
long
I just
ago
happened
was that,
to
like 6 years?
Wow, yeah. Probably was senior year or junior year, which would have been 2000. Wow,
7,
actually, no, that was like 2011
years.
or 12, so 7 or 8 years now.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I feel like 6 years is when I was in college, so.
That's crazy.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried the whole college thing 7 times, and thus far, still unsuccessful. What do you think about it? Well, you went to the CIA, that's different.
It's not real college.
But it's fucking demanding from what I hear, though.
It is because it's like a job. Basically, but you're not getting paid. You're paying to be there to work, basically.
To get the...
And a lot of the classes, like, after your first year, a lot of the classes are serving other people. So it's basically like they're...
Well, because you can eat there, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So when you get to the end of the program, you can work in one of the 3... I don't know if it's more now. One of the 3 restaurants. You pick 2 of them, and you do front of house and back of house. So you do serving and cooking.
So would you say it was worth it, do you think?
I would say it's worth it.
Did you actually learn a lot? That's why I always wonder, do you actually retain useful information?
Okay, so before I went to school, I already cooked for my family and everything, so I knew, like, flavor profiles, and I knew, basic cooking, like sauteing and, like, deglazing and stuff like that.
Which, just for the record, is significantly more than I currently know. Continue.
Deglazing is really like when you cook like a piece of meat or something, and then there's like the brown bit stuck to the bottom of the pan, and you put like wine or like some sort of spirit in there to like lift that up from the pan. You get the flavor from that, and then you like make a sauce out of that.
Oh, that sounds fucking fire.
Like when you're doing pork chops, you do the pork chops and you put them in the oven. You take that and you make like some sort of like wine or like.
Is that how people make my mom's boyfriend made one time smothered pork chops? I don't know if it was the same thing, but it was fucking banging because it felt like it had a lot of like the bits in it. That's what it was. Yeah. Damn, learning a lot of shit.
So I knew that stuff, but like going to school, I could like, what's the word for like, not finesse, but like sharpening my techniques, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Enhance your skills.
Enhancing, things that I already knew, but in a professional like. The right way to hold a knife. Like, if you hold a knife and you're cutting like this and you're holding it like that, you're gonna, like, strain this muscle here.
Honestly, I had no fucking idea.
So, like, after a while, if you keep doing that, like, years of that, it will lead to, like, muscle...
Yeah, you don't want that.
Fucked upness. I don't know what the like, technical term is.
Muscle fucked upness.
So, you, like, learn the right way to do stuff or to, like, handle things. And, like, the networking was, like, the biggest parts. Because I, like... Going to that school is like it's an international school, so I know people that live in like India. I know people that live in California. I know people that live in like Belize.
And see, when it comes to something like cooking, different cultures has a massive impact. Like it's not like it's the same concept. Like if you did music and you met people who did music in 10 different countries, you can learn a fuck ton.
So much.
But there's certain things like there's certain jobs like that really having cultural different diversity might not help. But cooking is, if not the most useful. So I could see where you could have probably got a lot of information there. But let me ask you this though, I'll tell you my opinion on just like college and shit. Is that so when you're in the CIA, do you take when you take a class, is there like a set curriculum, or is it like you decide very specific classes?
It's a set curriculum, pretty much. Like if you're doing the associates or whatever.
That's my only thing with that.
If you're doing like, you like pick your associates or whatever, and then you do culinary arts, baking, or culinary science, which is like a whole other super.
My only thing with that
cool
is,
thing.
and this is everybody's to each their own. Everybody has a preference, but the reason I think that I didn't, because I had gone through the process. I went through everything short of taking my placement test to go back for this year, for next month. And I ultimately decided to back out, which now there's a plethora of reasons, but initially it was solely for this. I came to the realization that the thing about school is it is a set curriculum for pretty much anywhere you go, basically, right?
Yeah.
So it's a set curriculum, and the thing is,
He's
unless
like a giant up there.
it's bad, right? It's bad. Now somebody else is my fucking witness. Here's the thing, too. I'll get back to my thing. I'm gonna sidetrack a little bit. I don't know what he does. He comes and goes at all hours of the night. It'd be like 2 o'clock. I definitely know he has a dog now, and apparently a dog that fucking runs track meets upstairs because it's bad. But
the Olympics,
sometimes I hear power tools up there. I'm convinced that he's building a series of fucking tunnels into my bedroom, and he's gonna fucking rape me in the middle of the night one night. I really, sincerely fucking think that's what's gonna happen. It's bad.
Wait, I gotta pee now.
And when I see him, okay, real quick though, the last time I seen him outside, he had a fucking pair of binoculars, and I was like, standing right out here. I swear to God. And I walked out, and I was like
nighttime binoculars,
no,
or just like regular,
big, like he was looking for a bald eagle binoculars. Okay, and it's the middle of the day, and I walked out, and I was just like, "Hey, man," and he was like, "Oh, what's going on?" I'm like, "What are you doing?" Okay. He's like, I'm just looking for Mercury. And I'm like,
oh, that's kind of cool though.
But here's the thing, with binoculars, don't you need higher power magnification for that? Like I said, if you're waiting for a fucking falcon to cross your view, you're probably good with binoculars. But a planet? Let's see, where is Mercury?
But I feel like
my very educated, so it's 2 planets away. Or no, is Venus between us and Mercury? What comes first, Mars or Mercury?
Oh fuck. No, Mars is after us.
Wait, my very educated mother. Remember the thing?
My
very educated mother.
Yeah, so Mars is after us. And
wow,
then
we don't know shit about planets.
The belt is after.
Whatever the case is, okay. I know planets are far away.
All I know
probably
is that
can't see
Pluto is a planet again.
Oh yeah, shout out Pluto.
Shout out to Pluto
in the planetary realm. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna let you take a fucking pee break, and then we'll return.
Okay.
How was your pee?
Oh my God, I feel like every time I get like drunk, am I drunk? I don't know. Anytime I'm drinking, I can't tell anymore. Sometimes
I think you got a tiny bladder, probably though.
I do have a very small bladder. I think, just relative to my size, I feel like I would have a small bladder. Maybe that's not true. Maybe it's huge. I don't know what it looks like in there, so...
I feel like I'm rocking one of those fucking 20 gallons.
I don't have a camel back in there, that's all I know.
Yeah, I got a fucking elephant back in my shit. Anyway, so going back to...
I feel like a new person.
Going back to college talk. Let's get a little intellectual here, folks. So college as some may call it. Nobody calls it that. College. Anyway, so we're going to talk about college. I think my British accent's gotten pretty good.
Mine is terrible.
It's watching a lot of medieval shit, though. Like, I got this real big thing where I really want to, like, just behead somebody now. It's pretty fucked up. I probably shouldn't say that.
I always said that I, like, want to own a katana. Not that it has to do anything.
Katanas are fucking cool. Also, Japanese culture is sick as fuck.
Wait, exactly.
Katana's Japanese, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll say Asian. I don't know.
Alexa, where do katanas come from? I love this bitch so much.
Katana is from Japan.
Shout out Japan. Also, shout out Samurai fucking Jack with the katana on deck.
That's my man.
So yeah, katanas are cool. But
I always wanted to carry one around me because like no one's gonna fuck with you, even if you don't know.
Oh no, that's a katana, fact.
No one's gonna fuck with you if you have a katana strapped to your.
I'm gonna tell you one thing: if you are ballsy enough to walk around with a katana, I wouldn't even bring a gun to that fight. I wouldn't even feel safe bringing a gun to a katana fight. I'm like, no.
If someone has a katana, they could probably.
You're gonna cut through my fucking bullet in half or some shit. Or by the time I go to grab my gun on the holster, I'm gonna have no hand. I'm like, I'll go to grab my gun and I'll be like, wait, what the fuck?
Like, your hands just fall into the
and that person's already like 7 states away. Like, Japanese. Oh god, we should take a trip to Japan one day. I really want to go fucking Japan.
That'd be so.
I want to go to Japan. Okay, so sorry for getting sidetracked. This, by the way, this is not a you thing. This happens all the fucking time. So no, back to the college thing. This is my thoughts on it. I think for people, like, obviously some people love it. Some people say it's great. Like, and I'm completely setting aside the like loans thing, right? The way that people are getting fucked and just destroyed with money.
My horrible
setting
loans.
that part of it aside, though, just talking about the curriculum itself and what it can actually provide you, right? Is that my thing is if you truly use the vast majority of the things that you learn from the curriculum, that's great. But for me, and this is the reason why I stopped doing it, and this is gonna sound ridiculous, but I truly believe this. Like, for example, I told you.
It's gonna sound ridiculous, but I don't know that
it's like,
man.
guys,
I've never seen that man before.
This is gonna sound crazy, but I just saw Mercury with my binoculars. Shout out to my upstairs neighbor.
Good God.
So, no, but the thing is, like, I really feel like you're better. Now there's, like, different, you can get, like, online courses from, like, Skillshare and shit. You can just learn so much from literally YouTube and shit. And it also depends. Like, me, I've never been, like, a book or lecture learner. I've always been very hands-on. Like, I always said this quote that, like, I could learn more about heart surgery in 1 week of shadowing a doctor than I could in 1 year in a classroom. I truly feel it because it's just, like, if I can visualize it and see it and practice it and touch it and feel it, I'm better off at doing it. And a lot of times, like, and it's funny because, you know, like, a lot of guys, they don't fucking read the instructions when you got to build something or some shit.
God, yeah.
I'm one of those
They
people.
just, like, do it.
But the reason I think that that's good in a way is that it really helped me sharpen my problem solving skills.
Okay.
Because a lot of times now, like, you have to get creative. I'll give you a perfect example. At work the other day, I was setting up the Christmas tree, which was already late. It was a rough, like, very quick Christmas. So I'm setting up the Christmas tree, and I unbox it, and I realized it didn't have the fucking base, right? So what do? I start to look around. I go in the garage. I realize there's a cone in our garage. I cut the top of the cone so that the hole is just about the size of the end of the tree. I took a cardboard box and I cut a hole in that. I put the cone inside the box. I put the tree through that. And then one of my staff was like, "Yo, we should just wrap it so it looks like a present."
Yeah,
and then it came out. It actually came out fucking cool.
Yeah.
Another little thing is, like, in the house where the curtains are on the living room window. We got a curtain rod that wasn't long enough, so we had an old broom. I snapped the broom, I bent the metal in, and I shoved it into the curtain rod. And when you put the curtain over it, you can't tell the difference. So I've become, I love to call it ghetto rigging. Like, I'm the king of ghetto rigging.
It's
like
MacGyver.
MacGyver. I've heard of him. I don't know what that is.
He's
But
just, like, he makes stuff out of, like,
I'm a modern day
nothing.
MacGyver. Call me MacGyver. MacGyver's way. I'm gonna start to fuck. This is the new podcast name is MacGyver's way. It's called the MacGyver way now. MacGyver. Anyway. So yeah. So like I said, because of that though, like, I'm a very hands-on learner. So the issue with school is that, again, like I said, unless they lay it out. They are telling you what they're teaching you. You're not telling them what you need to learn.
Right, yeah.
And that is my major gripe.
But also just having one singular, you know, because people learn all different ways. For you to have one singular way.
Again, for some people it's going to be very successful.
Yeah.
For other people it's not. And when I tell you, like, for example, like, video editing, and, like, just videography, photography, all the stuff that you've seen, and you can attest now that you've seen this. Yeah. I try to explain to people all the time, like, until you've actually done something like this, it seems very simple when I throw up a podcast or a video or anything, but there's so much to it. Like, even just the boxes.
A lot. Yeah,
for example, if you look in this video right now, I have new softbox lighting with diffusers on it. So if I was using the old lights that I had been using up until now, there would be giant shadows cast on the wall. Obviously, there are still some. It's not even close.
Like,
our
soft.
entire
it's, like,
body,
really soft and, like, not
soft box. Exactly. It's
soft.
it fits in very nicely.
Is that why they're called soft boxes?
I don't know, but I think so, and I think you're a fucking genius for figuring that out.
No, I'm not even jealous. I think I just put one and together.
But yeah, so now that I know that stuff, like, I use Final Cut Pro, which is, like, a very expensive editing program, and I've learned a lot about editing video, color grading. I told you all the words I was saying before that probably don't even fucking make sense. I learned a lot of that just from
yes, most of them no.
Just from YouTube, because the thing is, if I need to know how to, for example, this probably make sense, but if I need to know how to make a compound clip, and then or if I need to know how to color grade or anything, I just type exactly that in on YouTube. That's how I learned how to do pretty much everything I'm doing right now.
Right.
You just saw, literally, before we started this, I had to figure this out. Because I hadn't done 2 mic setup in a long time, so I had to figure out how to get the aggregate devices. That doesn't make sense. I had to figure out how to get all the channels correct. That doesn't make sense. A lot of it doesn't make sense, but I looked it up. That's how I learned how to do this shit. So for me personally, like I said, I'm a hands-on learner. I think a lot of people are. And I think for some reason, like, a lot of people who are our age and younger are starting to become more like that, which is why I think it's interesting that, like, that's, you know, a lot of people now are becoming more successful without college because, and like I said, I think some people go to college and they learn so much stuff and they make it.
I recommend, like, I was telling my one friend, she, like, asked me, like, oh, was it worth it going to CIA? And I was like, honestly, from my point of view right now, everything that I learned, I could have learned by just getting a job somewhere. Like, you obviously have to start low. You have to be, like, a dishwasher, a prep cook, or whatever. But I feel like everything that I learned at school, I mean, I learned from really cool people, like my fundamental chef, we called it fundies. He opened Le Bernardin in New York City, which is now run by, like, Air Repair or whatever. But he taught me a bunch of stuff and, like, gave me the, like, finesse that I needed. And I think that you don't have to pay for that. You can go and just like work at a
Yes.
restaurant, but you just have to stop for the very bottom, and it's
Yeah.
like one of those things where like a lot of people's pride gets in the way because they're like,
Yeah.
well, I don't want to start from
and
the
that's why I
bottom,
tell
and I'm
people.
like,
I think people really underestimate
you could totally just go and learn at a restaurant.
I think people underestimate the power and the importance of internships, and I think a lot of people are turned off because
too,
many times they're unpaid. But here's the thing:
you can find paid internships
right now. So if I could go to some place like any production company or any studio, if I could go be on a behind the scenes of a skit show right now, for example, and all my job was to serve coffee, but I could sit there and watch the fucking process.
What they do, yeah.
That would be. So I couldn't even put a price on the amount on the importance of that information, and that's why I tell people like that's the thing.
Getting your foot in the door.
Like you have, but you have to also be willing to, like you said, like learn, start from the bottom, humble yourself, accept these things, understand these things, like process shit. Like keep your mouth shut and keep your ears fucking open until you know what you're doing. That's how I've always fallen by. But yeah, I try to tell people too. I'm like, look, I've tried it, like, and obviously it wasn't for me, but like a lot of things I've learned and a lot of things that's pushing me in the direction that I'm currently going in with all this stuff has come from this computer, from my phone, watching shit, listening to shit, consuming information that I specifically sought out as opposed to... That was a good one though.
That was good.
That was a two-party. Like,
good.
That shit had a little bit. That was like a little. That was a fucking two-tone. That was a double decker right there. But, and here's the other thing too that I tell people is like a lot of people who do rave and rant about or rave about college is that I say, okay, how much of what you're talking about, all the good stuff, how much of it was about the experiences you met and the people you had and the people you met versus the coursework? Because I think a lot of people have more to say about their great roommate, the best friend that they made in college, or the parties, or the experiences, or things that like you said, the connections. But how much of that actually is because of the school's coursework?
Right.
Which is what you're paying for, really.
Yeah.
Think about that.
That's what you're paying the most.
And if you go to college and you meet people, and a lot of people meet people through college, but again, so in that sense, it's great. But it's not like the college that really gave you that. It was just an environment. But by that same logic, I could say that high school was the same. I could say anywhere you go, I could say the fucking gym is the same way. If I meet somebody at the gym who ends up launching me into a career,
the age group.
Yeah,
like, you're in this very transformative stage of your life where you can go wherever you want to go because you already did like your primary schooling or whatever, like high school and all that. So you're kind of figuring out what you want to do in the long run. And being around like-minded people that are like, yeah, I want to do this. Yeah, I want to do it. Like, if you want to open up a bakery and you meet other people that also want to open up a bakery, like, oh, this is how I would do it. Like, oh, this is how I would do it. And, like, just, like, exchanging, like, ideas.
That's what I'm talking about,
really important.
And see,
but
in
also
high school, you don't
meet,
get that.
Meet those people also at other bakeries that you work at, you know.
Now, here's the thing. In high school, like I said, pretty much high school is like they offer very little as far as like electives and stuff.
Oh,
it's more about
especially
being like
in New York, like
it's more about being like, hey, you want to be an actor? Well, when you finish high school, do this. Or oh, you want to be a baker? Well, when you finish high school, but they're not facilitating those interactions in high school, which is where I can see where those connections can be valuable in college. But like you said, they don't have to come through college. So because of that, do I want to go spend thousands to take the chance on that? Or do I want to go extend my resources to just public fucking settings? I could walk into literally, I mean, and with social media, you could post on Facebook and say, I need this, I need that.
Our generation, too, is, like, very pressured to go to college. I think we were maybe the last generation.
Yes, because the generations before us are under this impression that it still has to be where you go to high school, you get a good education, you go get a good job, you got... Like, and again, I don't knock people. Don't take this the wrong way. I don't knock people who want.
If you go to college, that's fucking awesome.
If you want to go to college, and you're successful,
and you're doing whatever you want to do. But like,
fantastic. But don't shit on others for doing it. Just like we're not shitting on people who do go that way.
Yeah. If you don't, then that's like totally fine. You don't have to go to college. And I feel like when I was in college, I am a hands-on person also. So in my kitchen classes, I got A's and B's. But in my, like, not elective, what are they called? Like, just more, like, book classes.
Lectures.
Lectures?
I don't know.
Like...
You forget. I didn't do good.
I don't know what they're called.
I don't know these terms.
Oh, my God. What is the word? Like, academics.
Oh, yes.
Academic classes. I got C's and D's.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't know how to sit there and read a book that I don't want to read.
Right.
And like
and that's the
like
thing
that.
too.
Like,
Stop. Can we stop? We are setting children up for failure so fucking bad when when we are literally assigning a value to them in their life based on how good they could do with this. Again, a set coursework.
Standardized.
Perfect example is you
flat. It's like a flat line. If you're not on the line, or if you're not above the line, then you're terrible.
If you put,
but it's like if it was more, then a lot.
If there was at least some fucking fluctuation,
yeah,
no, it's like, listen, you're either fucking here or you're there.
Or you do that, yeah. But and the grades and yeah.
The thing is though, is like people. In my opinion, like if you can do something well, that's where I'm saying. Like I have one of my big mantras over this last year has been like the value of time. It's one of the most. It's the irreplaceable, resource. Like you cannot replace time. Literally, you cannot. It's finite. You have X amount of it. You can only maximize the time you do have. You cannot increase that time. So with that being said, I focus on that. So for me, and that's why I say like, I would rather, if I know I'm good at something, if I know I want to do something, I would rather invest my time into that and do that than to spend my time on other shit. It's gonna be useless. Like, and it's funny because like I've seen athletes who go to a different sport and are horrible at it. And do you know why LeBron James is great at basketball but probably not good at all at fucking baseball? Because he invested all of his time in fucking basketball. Hello, like, would you rather be a fucking LeBron James or would you rather be an athlete who was all right at both? And that's, hey, to each their own. You make the decision. I'd rather be the fucking LeBron James is the thing that I do than to be the average Joe of a lot of different things. And that doesn't mean you can't be good at a lot of things, but again, hone your craft, man. If you know what you want to do and you have one lane, try to be your best at it. Like,
go for it. Just really
because some people can't. Again, you could be a Jamie Foxx, you could be a really talented and successful in music and in acting and stuff like that, but you could also be. You could be. I mean, I don't know anybody off the top of my head, but there are a lot of people who have tried different genres, and it's great to try those things. But if you're not good, then you're not good at it.
Like like you try.
And I've tried so. You know how much different shit, how many different career paths I have independently chosen to try over the last fucking year. Like so much different shit. Like I said, entertainment. Like that's what I want to do now. I really want to continue with this and skits and comedy and all that shit. But like, there's been so much. At one point, I wanted to be a music producer. Okay, I wanted to produce music. I wanted to make beats and shit. I thought that was cool. I still love that kind of stuff. Not good at it. Never gonna be good at it. Never gonna be a career. Never gonna do it again. I have tried so many different things. Like I wanted to be so many things, and a lot of it has failed. But just to try those things, like that's how you know. Because again, like, and that's why you see, what you see a lot too is people changing their majors. Almost everybody I know who did finish school changed their major at one point. But because the problem is, until you get in there and see what you're looking at, that's when you realize, like, oh, fuck, but wouldn't you rather have that knowledge to make a more accurate decision right off the rip instead of wasting a few semesters on some shit you're never going to need again? That you're paying for? Yeah. The student debt amount right now is like fucking, what, $3 trillion? Or some shit like that? That's
crazy.
And the
craziest part is that whoever deals with the student loan forgiveness program or whatever, can't remember what her name is, probably because she's irrelevant. Whatever. She's, that department is rejecting, like, 92% of all, like, applicants.
Crazy.
And you're just like, well, if you're trying to resolve the debt that we have, why are you rejecting so many people? Yeah. It's just like...
You know what the thing too is,
but also who are you accepting? Like,
but the schools,
which I would love to look into. Like, who are you accepting?
Yeah, 100%. Who even decides that shit?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
The thing too is that fuck. What was I just gonna say? Damn. Wait, what were we talking about again? You were talking about the accepting.
We're talking about student loan forgiveness and student loans, and before that, curriculums.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say now.
That's fair.
Damn, it was really good too. It was some good shit.
Damn, it's gonna be some good shit.
It's gonna be some fucking fire. It's gonna be some heat.
Damn.
I don't know. Whatever the case is, though.
Spicy shit.
Oh, I remember now.
Okay.
Colleges and people who are invested in these things, they're still trying to put out this idealism that, like, again, that you have to go to college and that when you do, like, you're gonna get a good job. You can't move on without a degree. And that it's the only way. But here's the thing. You know how many people I know with significant degrees who do exactly what I do or less? Or who are in lower positions at my job, or who are taking lower jobs, because you gotta fucking work. You gotta make money somehow. Like, just because, and it maybe it did used to be that way.
You don't get a job right after you finish.
Right, and maybe it did used to be that way, where like you, at one point or another, like a degree did guarantee a job in that field, but that's not always the case. But I think it's a really good thing that these big companies like Google and these places are starting to accept more people without degrees, because it's gonna kill off that whole mindset. It's gonna kill off because in 10 years people are gonna realize I'm equally as likely to get hired for fucking Google if I go to school for 4 years or if I just do an internship or if I just learn this or learn that or something like that. You want to have...
You just start and learn.
The thing is, everybody... You should have a resume, some sort of resume, be it work experience or school. But it doesn't have to be one or the other. It doesn't have to be a combination of both. One or the other is not necessarily better. But have some sort of, resume to be able to say, like, hey, this is what I can do, or like you said, like, start at the bottom. The places that are going to just be like, look, we'll give you a chance anywhere. Fucking take that.
If someone's gonna hire you and you can learn from that, like, don't fucking go to school for that.
But it's about people's willingness to learn, though.
That's true, yeah. But
and the thing you gotta realize,
the humble aspect.
You know what I always thought was so funny?
A lot of people don't want to be dishwashers before they're cooks, so it's like.
You're right.
I was a dishwasher before I was a cook, and you move up from there. And
yeah, what I think is funny too, and this is 100% not a knock at college professors, because I think some of them. See, this is the thing. I think a lot of professors, and I think the most successful ones, are professors who either have already moved on past a professional career, or those who specifically wanted to be educators, who have the skill set to go be successful in that field, but instead choose to pass their knowledge on. And I think that's an amazing thing. But a lot of times, there are some who were unsuccessful in what they did, who are now trying to teach people how to be successful at that. Let that sink in for a second, right?
You also have to have patience for a lot of that. So on top of already having that education, you also have to pair that with a lot of patience.
Yeah.
I do not have, so I could never.
I couldn't. And I love to teach. But see, this is the thing. Like I was just saying before, like when people ask me like the process of all this, I get so excited talking about it. But that's because that's what I am excited about. But you have to think from a professor's aspect too, is like they're strapping you with a set curriculum, and it's hard for you to go beyond that. Maybe you have some really useful knowledge on a specific part, but that specific part was only set for a week block of time.
Yeah, exactly.
And or maybe what you want to talk about isn't even in the curriculum, and then you're fucked, and you can't really actually pass on what would probably be much more useful knowledge. But man, college, I don't know. Like I said, some people are successful with it, and it's great, and I can really appreciate people who do that. But it was just, I think for the whole time.
But even if you're bad at it, it's not you. It's
the system is really
mainstream,
and that's why I think
standard, line that everyone's supposed to
And that's
why
I think it is definitely commendable if you succeed in school, because I think that the way that it's currently set up, it's very hard to do that. It's harder probably now than ever. But at the same time, you don't need it. And that's how I feel. I mean, even my position that I hold at work right now, like I became a manager. I have no degree at all. And I didn't become a manager because I had a degree in the field that I work. I became a manager because I got good at my job.
Right, yeah.
I got good at my job, and they noticed, and they said, he's good for the job. They don't say, hey, what kind of degree you have. No, like, he's good for the job. We're going to put him in that position. It's worked out. But like I said, and that's because I could have gone to school for 10 years, and they could have taught me about what I do right now for work. But in the last 5 years of working, that's where I've learned everything. Because I worked. I came in, and initially I just watched, I listened, I did it, I've experienced. And that's the thing, too. That's the one thing you cannot get experience. Because the one guarantees that no matter what field you go into, you hear this, right?
Jesus Christ.
Guys, I hope the fucking microphones are picking this up. This dude, let's just listen for a second. What if he just came downstairs and knocked on the door? He's like, yo, man, I'm sorry if I'm being fucking too loud. I'm like, wow, bro. You are definitely... He's probably listening to us right now. What's going on?
Like, what are you doing?
Is he just walking back and forth all day?
That's what it seems like. He's just like...
I'm telling you, I hear power tools up there. I'm not even fucking joking. Like, this dude pulls out straight up power tools. Like, I think he's got a tractor in his fucking living room or something. Because it's like, dude, what are you doing? Sometimes it'd be 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. This is early for him. This is an early night for him.
Right, wow.
And his car, he's got a very sporadic schedule. Sometimes he's not here for a few days. Sometimes his car sits there for a few days. I'm like, what is going on? He's a serial killer. He's got to be. He's got to be. And like I said, when I met him, he's always like one of those people who's just too enthusiastic. He's like, hey, man, what's going on today? I'm like, when I asked him, what are you doing today? Looking for Mercury. Okay, dude. You get a little too enthusiastic about the planets. But all right. Anyway, so yeah, that's the school spiel. But you know what's funny? I just realized. So we're about an hour and this
school spiel.
You ever do this?
All the time.
Students, please take your seats. I just realized though that after all that, I never actually talked about what I wanted to talk about, which was, this would be good, I've talked about this before, but now I've got a friend so I can get a woman's perspective.
Oh, great.
So, as I told you pre-show, in the prelim, as I was struggling to set up the microphones, I just recently started sleeping with someone.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And
she sounds lovely, honestly.
She, did I say anything about her besides her physical body?
I don't know what she looks like, but I know your physical relationship.
No, I'm just wondering because usually I lead off with how good she looks, which is really.
No, I mean you told me
man.
that she's very attractive, which I'm like, cool.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
must be like really cool.
Yeah, she is. She is very cool.
Quite cool.
And I've been shooting up the club. That's new. Shooting up the club is when you bust in somebody.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, oh
You're
my
like, wait a minute,
God.
am I sitting here with a club shooter? What the fuck?
Jesus Christ. This is what we're trying to avoid in 2020, and here he is.
Yeah, so
flesh.
but I told you though, it's now ruined condom section for me though. I think I can't go back.
Fair.
I think I can't go back. And also I feel like I'm late to the party. Like I legit up until this point I had probably had condomless sex like literally 3 times total. Now to be fair, I haven't really had like a long-term steady relationship. A lot of times you get it there, but still.
Yeah,
so it's hey, I'm fucking safe, man.
Honestly,
I've had multiple partners in my life. I'm a safe man.
6 years single.
6 years, gang shit, bro. Single gang.
I sleep so good knowing that nobody is cheating on me.
Nobody. Yo, go fucking cheat on me. I dare you. You don't even exist yet, girl. Yeah, if you listening to this, whoever's gonna be with me, first of all, sorry in advance for all the shit that I do. And second of all, you know what? No, I can't even say. I've been open to the idea of an open relationship. I'm not gonna lie.
I understand that, but also I don't like sharing my food, so I'm not gonna share my boyfriend or girlfriend.
Which is fair. Totally fair.
I don't
To be
like
honest, I would share my boyfriend.
general.
I would share my girlfriend before I shared food.
Yeah,
I value food.
Yeah.
I really care about my food.
Food
okay?
is like.
Did you see that fucking video that went around before I get back to this? And that dad the one day, he was crying, he was telling the story, and he was like, talking about how he picked up wings and his daughter was asking for something. He's like, hey, I didn't really want to give her none, man. He's like, but I gave her one. He's like, she started choking, and he's like, I was just so happy because after she was done, she said, Daddy, I don't want no more wings. And I can't believe it, man. I ate all my wings, man. And, he was like, oh, God is good, man. And you really didn't see that?
No.
All right, see, now I got to show you it because this shit is funny. And what I'll do is I'll just like, let's see, dad, daughter, wings, I guess? Chicken wings. I think I can find it if I do that. Oh, here it is. Okay. You got to watch this. It's going to be really fucking funny. Hold on.
I usually don't try to make, videos being emotional, but, today was one of them days. On my way home, I kind of wanted some chicken, man. I wanted 10 chicken wings, man. So
I always want chicken wings. Always.
Chicken wings. And my 2-year-old was in the back, was saying chicken, as if she wanted something. And I said, I'll give you a piece when you get home. But I already knew I was going to make her a sandwich, when we got to the house.
Oh, he's crying right now.
Like
tears here. It's like the emoji tears, just like straight down. Like.
The house, man. I opened up the box of chicken, man. It was fresh, man, looking good. And she still was asking for chicken, so I gave her a piece, and I was gonna give her at least 2 or 3. And not even a few seconds after she started eating, man, she started gagging seriously. And so I had to I went over there and started beating the back of her back, and I was so nervous, man, and it really got me, you know what I'm saying, as a father, you know what I mean, because it wasn't about her choking. It was the fact that she told me afterwards she didn't want no more chicken. And so I just started tearing up because I'm like, man, now I'm gonna have all this chicken to myself. Man, y'all, let me tell you, man, God is faithful, man.
That's relatable. That's relatable.
At least have, the chicken that was in the box, but God intervened, man. And she didn't even want no more. And I got to sit down and eat in peace 9 pieces of chicken. And really 9.5 because she ain't finished that.
9.5.
He said really 9.5.
Worry. God already knows the outcome. Don't worry. Don't fret. Trust God.
Don't fret.
Yo.
Don't fret.
Some of the best chicken I ever had in my life, man. This thing.
He said.
He's like crying. Oh
So,
my god.
That's how I feel about sharing food. If you couldn't tell, my fat ass. But yeah, I've had this. So this is my thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. If people who do it right, I think open relationships are arguably the most successful, because I feel like cheating and lying and jealousy are some of the biggest factors as to why relationships end. And you literally cannot have a successful open relationship if those things exist.
Cheating and lying?
No, I lied. I think jealousy will exist a little bit, but it has to be obviously significantly less if you're in an open relationship. But now, if I was going to do
like jealousy, I feel like jealousy is outside of the relationship. Like jealousy happens within that person. I don't think it has anything to do with.
Oh no, for sure. That's why, like I said, you can't. I mean, how can you really let your jealousy take over if you willingly know that you're both sleeping with each other, with other people? I mean, so. But like I said, I think open relationships. Like if I was going to do it, because I'm not talking swinger. I'm not talking those people who are constantly looking for couples that just like fucking pass around.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not talking about passing each other around like a blunt. I'm talking about having like a structured, like, it would be something like where we agree. So one of my biggest rules would be nobody, believe it or not, I wouldn't want it to be anybody you know, like, well. I would want it to be somebody like, which is in a way, it's more dangerous because it's like a stranger, but at the same time, like we adults, everybody be hooking up with people they just met now. Come on. Yeah. So I would rather be with somebody you don't know, because then you're less likely to have it turn into something else because you don't know them, and you're not going to.
The flip side where you don't know them, and that's like more exciting.
But here's the thing though. I guess it depends. For me personally, like I'm way more likely to. So I've never been the type to like fall in love after fucking, right? But I feel like if it was ever gonna happen, it would be somebody I was sleeping with who I already was like close with, and then we slept together, and then that was like what put the relationship over the top. But for me, like I said, for me to care about you, it's so much more than just like the way we fucked. Like for me, I'm like, nah, I gotta connect with you on like an intellectual level and be able to enjoy your company and laugh with you and shit. I can't just fall in love with you because your pussy was fire. You know, that's a good. That's like the cherry on top. But the whole fucking Sunday gotta be there first, because I don't like cherries, bitch. Put on a Sunday and we talking business.
I feel like you have to have the right cherries, because I know really good cherries.
So, well, see, everybody says that, and I'm not even exaggerating.
If you're going with like
I would completely admit
maraschino cherries are disgusting.
I would.
But if we're talking about like Luxardo,
I don't even know what that means, but it sounds good.
It's maraschino liqueur.
Luxardo.
Luxardo.
Do you want some Luxardo? Yo, our accents are trash.
Yeah, like those cherries, like the cherries that they put in like cocktails.
Yeah.
Like the dark cherries.
Yeah, those are pretty fun.
I'm a last word girl, so like that's like my shit.
I don't even know what that means.
A last word is a cocktail that's equal parts gin, chartreuse, and lime juice. And it's just like shaken up, strained, and then you just get a maraschino cherry.
So you be drinking the next level shit. I'm over here just pouring a little bit of fucking whiskey into a bottle of
it has its place. It has its place.
Yeah, I need to start to
I'll go to Snappers and order a last word.
They're like, we only have the first word here. Sorry, we don't even have words here actually.
Like we're straight out of words.
So the open relationship thing, like I would again, you'd have to be with somebody who like you agree on mutual terms. If I was gonna do it, it would be like I said, like I would rather be with somebody like, you know, like we would each get like 2 a year, some shit like that. Because no, the truth of the matter is like
so limiting too, because it's like I feel like that would you just run into problems like that because you're limiting yourself to only 2 people.
I guess it depends. Me personally, like to be honest with you, I actually don't even think I would. I don't think I would collapse under the pressure of like lust. I really don't feel like I would, but until I'm in that situation, I can't say for sure. But I'll tell you this though: if I just got 2 passes per year, I think I would be good with that. So it all depends. Like I said, that's the thing about open relationships is why you have to be with somebody. It's only going to work if you're on the same ground, and that's why it's got to have, like I said,
also
terms.
The more rules you make is like the more restrictive it comes. So it's like.
Oh, for sure, but you have to also think about this. Even an open relationship with loaded and jam-packed with rules is still less restrictive than a regular relationship.
You think so? I think even in an open relationship, the more rules you have, the more likely you are to go outside of those rules because you have.
Well, what kind of rules are you talking about?
Well, I don't know because I would probably never be in an open relationship.
I'm just talking about literally like when it comes to the rules of the act itself, like how.
If you need to be in an open relationship, or you want that freedom to be in an open relationship, then it's like. You should just probably stay single. Because that's like the same thing. You could go back to the same person over and over again. This is the spot that I'm at right now. And that could be like your home base. And then you could just fuck with other people because you're single.
And here's the thing.
Funny enough, being in a relationship is you're just...
Here's the thing.
Same dick forever.
Okay, funny enough though, what you just said is exactly what the situation I'm in, which is going swimmingly so far. Okay, it's great, but I'm telling you, I still have this paranoia that at some point it's gonna blow up in my face because these type of situations, it seems like they don't last forever. It's ideal. This is great. When I tell you, like, neither one of us,
ideal. Yeah.
neither one of us has any concern really for what the other person got going on. There's no fucking checking in. There's no harassing to hang out. We talk most days. We talk. We hang out when we can. We sleep together. We do fun stuff. We do cute shit. We even cuddle, and that's working so far. I know I'm playing a little dangerous. I'm playing it close to the vest. But this is where we are, and like I said, I'm about like a month and a half, 2 months maybe in, and it's going well so far. And I'm like, this is what I feel like that guy in the video. I wanted to sit down and pray. I don't believe in God, but I wanted to sit there and pray to God, like, yo, this guy, he got to be real, because to receive a blessing like this can't be just some fucking accident. This was carefully orchestrated by the hands of the fucking universe. Like, I have been searching my whole life, man. I wanted something like this more than I wanted a relationship, because this is like I pray for someone like you, and I thank God that I finally found you. To drop the fucking note right there. Yo, Unreal mixtape coming soon.
Hey.
But so far it's going well. But I feel like this is a great like prelim to the like last, because I always said like the next person I date is gonna be the last one. Like, I want to spend my life with somebody. But I think this is a good way to get all this out of my system, because it's like,
that's what dating really should be. If like you're like dating someone, like
I've always thought that term was so, it's like everybody has a different
like
definition
weird.
of it.
Yeah, exactly. I had an argument
because I would consider that her and I right now are like dating, because I think dating is when you're not officially with somebody.
Right, but also when you're dating, you're seeing like a bunch of people.
Yeah, so you could date multiple people. I 100%
so when you're
think
after you've been in a relationship, let's say you were in a relationship with someone for a year, will you say you dated that person? Is that dating?
No, if you're in a relationship, I'd be like, that's my ex-girlfriend.
It's not dating, right?
Right.
But like, what do you say? Like, oh, we saw each other. What? Saw each other for a year?
No, I would say we were together for a year if we were officially together. But if it was like this situation right now, if when this ends, like let's say like 6 months from now, I'd be like, yeah, I was seeing this girl for like 8 months.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I guess, right?
Like, I feel like seeing someone is different from dating someone.
Do you think it's a little bit higher level than that?
Seeing someone, yes.
I would say it's pretty accurate. So you'd say it's like, all right, let's just structure this out. So it's like relationship, like boyfriend / girlfriend / more.
Yeah.
Seeing, dating, fucking, friends.
You can still be fucking someone and dating them.
Yeah, but I think that kind of comes, right?
You think
like
fucking
implied?
comes before dating?
No. What I'm saying is, don't you think dating includes fucking?
Friends, and then like fucking dating, and then seeing. Right?
No, I'm talking about somebody you literally just fuck. Like, I think dating has to include at least chilling. You don't think so?
What if you're doing both?
Then you're probably seeing them. Right?
Shit.
Right? Are you seeing somebody?
No.
You seeing somebody, you didn't even fucking know it. You blind as shit. You seeing somebody out here.
No.
Alright, so then fine. Let's analyze.
Wait, seeing is after dating.
Yes. That's like right before being in a relationship. So you're... Okay, lay this out right now. Define this right now.
I don't know.
Well, let's just chop it up. Let's put it on the table.
Okay.
No names. That's one thing I always say. I'm not big on names, but situations. Let's hear about it.
There's no names. Okay, so there's this guy that I've been seeing.
Okay, there you go. All right, but no, But that's just a force of habit. We'll see. We'll get into it.
Okay, so like dating. I feel like dating is when you're seeing multiple people. Seeing is like you're seeing one person.
Okay,
right?
I can get down with that.
That's like
I can get down with that.
So
because I feel like when I hear dating, I do feel like people are dating multiple people. I think that's kind of like
dating. That's natural. Like you're just around.
Yeah, like I've been dating a few people.
And then together would be.
Well, also dating could be literally just going on dates with multiple different people.
Right. Exactly.
So I think that's where maybe it came from. Like dating.
Realistic.
Like we're dating. Like I'm I'm dating now. Like I've gone on a few dates with people. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So all right. So let's hear your situation though.
Seeing.
Okay.
This guy.
Here's a few. All right. So do you hang out and have you ever hung out together and not fucked?
Maybe like twice.
You're seeing each other. One. All I needed was one, and I guarantee you have. That's what I think.
He's a super sweetheart. I don't know, like.
Because here's the thing, with dating, like.
I've been very like straightforward about like
Let's put it this way.
I'm also still dating.
Yes, but you
while
could be
we are
seeing somebody and not being
seeing,
together. That's why you're
but
not.
still
That's why you're
dating
seeing them and not together.
and not together.
Because you do. That's what I think I'm
Okay,
doing. I think I'm
okay,
seeing
yeah,
this.
yeah. There's
right
dating, seeing together.
Because I think dating is like this. Because even though you hang out, like if you go on a date, it's almost like it's like part of the etiquette of dating.
Right.
Like to make yourself so you're not just a blatant whore who just fucks somebody, which is
Which
also
is
cool.
okay.
Which is also pretty
Which I'm
fucking
here
cool.
for all y'all.
But I think dating is more of like, it's like that etiquette. Like, look, no, listen, okay, I don't just let him fuck. He takes me out to dinner first. Or like, nah, man, we not just fucking. Like, we go out to dinner. But y'all really just fucking with food first, right? So I think dating is like dating is like you go out on a date.
I'm
and
into
fuck.
like the fucking and the food.
Yeah.
Fucking and the food.
It's like, yo, you want to get some pizza and fuck?
That's
like,
how we're gonna see each other again.
Right.
Know?
So that's why I think dating has to lead into seeing each other.
Interesting.
And then seeing each other this is my thing. I think seeing each other is
like
everything
that
in a
weird,
relationship.
like
everything in a relationship minus emotion. Minus romance, I mean.
Okay, yeah, romance.
Because right now, I'll tell you
Without
something. It's
emotion.
funny because if I had to define what I have with this girl right now, and the difference between that and a relationship, it's literally just the lack of romance. We sleep together, we hang out, we enjoy each other's company,
Right.
we're friends. I would definitely say we're friends, and we go out and do things. And so it's literally like everything you do in a relationship minus romance. So I think relationship
Which
is
is
the
a
fucking
big thing
full
because
shebang.
I feel like I'm not a romantic at all.
Oh, I could definitely see how you're not at all. I feel like you fucking don't even want to be next to a person most days. Like
I
literally,
kick a lot of people out immediately. Like, you gotta go, and they think I'm kidding, and I'm like,
you're like, no, but for
I'm
real.
like, okay, so I'm going to sleep, and when I wake up, you better be gone. Like,
You said, yeah, like, no, for real.
and I'll say
like,
that beforehand, just so they know what they're getting into, and they'll be like, afterwards, they'll be like, oh, you're
because they don't expect.
serious?
I think they don't
They're
expect
like,
it because
"Oh,
you're a woman.
serious? Yeah. Well,
I think most times they think like, oh, every woman says that, but she's gonna
Right,
want to
yeah.
fucking cuddle me when we're done.
Right, yeah.
And then when they realize that you
Don't
roll over and you're like
touch
scratching
me.
your fucking butt cheek and you're like farting and you want to go to sleep, then they're like, oh, wait a minute, this is different. What the fuck?
I'm
Like, damn,
don't
we just
fucking
fucked and then
touch
she
me.
burped in my
Don't
face and
look
kicked me
at me. Get the fuck out.
I think that yeah, I think like I said, I think relationship is just the full fucking package.
Yeah, that's
and then
everything.
seeing them is like
Everything.
if you just went into the recipe and said, ooh, let's just subtract the romance.
Like, yeah.
Seeing each other. And then dating is like, ooh, now we gotta take a lot more stuff out. I think the
Right.
step from dating to seeing each other is a bigger leap than seeing each other to
Yeah.
a relationship. Because dating, it's like, okay, wait,
But also
chill.
I feel like when
wait,
I'm
enjoying each other's
seeing-
company, don't necessarily need that.
Right, yeah,
hanging
yeah.
out on a regular basis, ooh, don't need that.
Right.
Talking on the phone or
The regular
texting,
basis
probably
thing,
don't
I
need
think,
that.
is like the biggest thing because
Yeah.
when I'm seeing someone, I don't want to see them more than once a week.
Yeah.
If I want to see you more than once a week, then we're probably going to be in a relationship.
No, I think you can be seeing each other because, like, for example, this girl and I, we hang out.
Me
Well, it's different. Like,
personally.
I've only seen her once in the last like 2 weeks, but then like we might hang out like 4 or 5 times in a week. But I don't feel obligated to do so.
Right, yeah.
And not to say that you have to feel obligated, but if I'm in a relationship, I personally, if I'm in a relationship, I probably want to see you most days if we're not living together.
Right,
but
exactly,
I
yeah,
would want to. But the difference in wanting to and not, I think, is another one of those separating factors. Because right now, like, there's sometimes like, I want to see her. Like, I haven't seen her in like 2 weeks. I would love to see her. But there's other times where I've been in like situations where I'm like, nah, I really want to see you like after I
Right.
just saw you 2 days ago because I just
Yeah.
really enjoy your company that much. And that's the romance of it, I think.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
but yeah, you're not a very romantic person, so I wonder.
At all.
I wonder, and you also have, I feel like, a very obviously sour taste because I think your last relationship was, if I remember correctly, ended pretty poorly, which most people's do.
Terrible. Yeah, it was pretty terrible.
yeah. So that maybe left. For me, it's interesting you say that though, because for me,
But it's like, what am I counting as my last relationship? I guess like, because there was a guy that I dated when I was
Florida.
about to move. Oh no, Florida. That was like
that was a while ago.
that was
huh?
like because I dated some guy in Houston.
Oh, see, I didn't even
too.
know that.
Yeah. Well, he's
didn't
not.
know that.
He's not. That
Oh, see, y'all weren't
He's
together.
not
then.
that important.
Y'all weren't together. Y'all weren't together.
It was like one of those things where we kind of just like agreed that we were way better off as friends, kind of thing.
Yeah, which is good that you can actually come to that agreement without having to
like
murder
we
each
still.
other.
He has like my other cat. Like.
Oh, yeah, you guys are friends still then.
Yeah, we're friends. We're
Nice.
friends, and we were always way better as friends. But like,
Yeah.
we wanted to like take it to that level, and we're like, what if
Let
we
me just
did
tell you,
this?
I think it's very interesting that you brought that up because that's why I say romance is literally like the romance of it is the absolute deciding factor, and it's the thing that you cannot create, you cannot fabricate it. It exists or it doesn't.
It's just like,
You
and it's
can't
like one of those
force
things
it.
you can't help. You can't
Right,
help it.
because you see a lot of people say like, oh, a lot of the best relationships start as best friends first, which I think is absolutely true. But what people fail to mention is that like, yes, plus romance. The romance has to work. Like I have a few very close female friends who, even some of which, like, who I might have messed around with and stuff, and, like, that might have been really fun. I enjoy their company. We get along super well. I'm very comfortable with them. But I just cannot see myself together with them in a romantic way. And it's like, like I said, we have all the makings of a relationship.
Right.
I feel like me and a lot of my friends...
But without the romance.
Even you and I at some point, it's like, I feel like almost everybody, like, if there's even a slight chance that you may have a physical interaction, and if you enjoy each other's company and you get along, that is pretty much all the makings of a relationship, but minus the romance. The romance is the deciding factor. I feel like with because I'll tell you, like, legit, like, there's a lot of my female friends who I've come across, and it's like, but like I said, it's like, nah, we could never date because it just, the romance just ain't there. It never has been. It just won't be, which is not a bad thing, but it's like, it's the romance or it's nothing. I feel
it's not,
So that's
for
like,
sure.
That's why, the romance. So if you guys were wondering, the recipe for a good relationship, 99% romance.
In handcuffs.
Well, damn. Well, 99% I said 99% handcuffs. God damn.
My is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so people are gonna be like, shit.
Yeah,
They're gonna hit me up in the DMs like, yo, man, who's that girl in your fucking podcast, dude? She was kind of cool. She's pretty cute.
But it's also like one of those things, like, when you do have that romance in a relationship, you can, like, go to different levels with, like, sex too. It's just really cool. Yeah. You're just, like, so comfortable. You're like, what if we just did this crazy thing where I put a cucumber in my butt? I don't know.
Like, wait, let's try something out. What if we did this weird thing where I
like,
put on this Viking helmet?
What if?
Like, hey, can I try this Viking helmet on when I fuck you next? Would you mind? Like,
what if I just wore a Pikachu tail in my ass as a butt plug? Like, are you Ash Ketchum or are you not? Like, because if you're not, then this isn't gonna work.
Hey, so let's try this role play where I'm like a caveman or something. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool, right? Like, you know what's funny?
This giant bone bag.
I talked about this on my last one. And this is not. I don't think this for me is about romance, but it is about comfortability because she's one of the few people. So I talked about I do not like, especially if it's the first time or I'm not comfortable. I do not like sleeping with a woman if before she touches me I'm not hard. Because so there's two different kinds of guys. There's growers and there's showers, right? I'm a grower for sure.
This last
right?
time.
I'm a grower for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not packing like 60, 70, 80% off the rip. I'm packing like 10% off the rip.
So you want to be turned on before you have sex?
Oh, for sure.
But I feel like with sex, you have to have foreplay. So even if you're not turned on, like, you can be turned on mentally, but if you're not turned on physically, that's where the foreplay comes in.
Right, and that's perfectly fine. Like, if we just start by kissing and then, like, I lay you down and we're getting into it, then I'm good to go. But if literally you just jump my bones and start putting your hands on my dick and I'm soft, that's a problem for me. Because like I said, and I actually talked about it, I was like, you're one of the few people now who, and like after I've slept with somebody, because like I said, once you've seen it, then you don't have to wonder. You're like, oh, all right, it ain't starting out with much, but I know where it's going to get to. So
I know it's
then potential. I'm comfortable with that. But off the rip, I'm like, it's the same concept as like a girl who might just dress up and wear the best makeup and come out looking fine as fuck. And then after you've been on a few dates, you probably don't give a fuck. You probably come around looking like, you know what I could look like. I'm gonna just come here on some low effort type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but I've always thought that was interesting. Like I don't really very often sleep with people when I'm not like ready to go already. But yeah, the foreplay I think is a must. I've never been one of those quickie types. I don't know. I mean, and it's happened for me before. But it's never been enjoyable.
Quickies with someone that I've already been with.
Yes, because it's like, you know that there's like more that you could do, but it's like, look, we just kind of need to rub one out right now.
You already know.
Like, come through. Like, we've already had the full experience.
We gotta go somewhere in 30 minutes, so like...
Yeah, that's like getting your fucking...
And I still have to get ready, so
that's like going to your favorite restaurant and only eating the appetizer and still being happy. You're like, that's cool. So I know that. I'll get the entree next time. I'll get the fucking entree next time I come here. But...
I'll get 2 appetizers next time.
Yeah, get fucking 2 I'll take one home with me.
I'll take one to go.
Man, yeah. Well, it's good to hear about your sightseeing on dates.
Yeah.
Date seeing, sightseeing, and fucking.
Yes.
You ever fight fuck?
No, not in a while. I don't think.
I don't know if I ever.
I feel like it's been some years actually where
all right.
Like, yo, I hate you so much.
I think fight fucking. There's 2 versions. Okay, there's the literal version.
Yeah.
And the like, what is it? The what's the other word? Not literal.
Metaphorical?
Yeah. Okay. So like fight fucking, like literally where like somebody's whooping your ass, and then another fight fucking is like when you've been like arguing all day and you're just so mad at each other and you just fucking
like whooping your ass, like actually fighting.
Yeah, I like to get fight fucked in that manner, like, cause is it weird? I honestly, I
No,
love like
because
being
I'm one
scratched
of
up and
those,
like punched
very,
and shit.
Yeah, physical, but
Like
but
I've
not
never been a
my
fan
face.
of choking because I'm like,
not
yeah,
my face.
yeah,
I
I'm
get
like,
really
yeah, I'm like,
angry. Like there was this one guy that I hooked up with, and he just like fucking like slapped me, and I was
oh
like,
yeah,
no,
like, chill,
no,
dude, chill,
no,
bro.
no,
The face is
no,
off fucking limits.
Yeah, no, that's like
I be
that's
telling
like
them, I'm
when
like-
I get actually angry, and like you think it's like me being turned up.
I'm
It's
one of them
me
dudes. I'm
just
like, yo,
wanting to
sharpen
rip
your fucking. I'm like,
head
yo,
off.
use your nails to sharpen each other, and then just dig them bitches in. Like, if I don't leave here looking like I just came out of the battle of fucking,
Yeah.
the battle of the fucking bastards, I don't want nothing to do with you. Like, I want you can punch me. I told that.
Oh my god,
I was
that
like, yo.
was such a horrible episode. My butthole was clenched the entire time.
Oh, it was
'cause I
so
like,
great. How about the last season? Also, did you notice that that's all Game of Thrones behind you?
I did
Yeah.
notice that.
Yeah.
Last season, did not think it was
Terrible. Do you want to fuck? Did you know that Dan and David, the writers, actually never even had anything to do with this new Star Wars? They ended up not becoming part of the project. The writers for the show, Game of
Right.
Thrones, the showrunners, who only didn't extend it. Like HBO and everybody wanted to do 10 seasons.
Right.
They cut off 8 because they were supposed to go do Star Wars. Never did it.
They never did Star Wars.
Fucking.
Well, that's
bastards.
probably good because I heard that the new Star Wars is really good.
Yeah,
So,
they probably would've
and
put
the
their
last
hands in
season
and
of
fucking
Game
ruined
of
it.
Thrones was shit. So.
Yeah, but I still got love. And did you see the picture of Daenerys with her tits out in my room?
I did not.
Commissioned artwork with Daenerys with her tits out and a
Are those
dragon
her
on her
actual
shoulder.
boobs?
Probably not, no, because they looked pointier than what I had seen on film.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But
I feel like when they're too pointy, it gets weird. I don't know.
oh yeah, you can't help but look. It's almost like it's like a fucking bullseye. It's like a target.
But it's also
It's like drawing me in. To look more.
unrealistic, kind of. You know, when they're too pointy.
Oh, aren't all women's tits like a little bit different sized?
Oh, they're all completely different.
You know what else I've noticed? I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, and I've done some research. Women's kneecaps are not proportionate, okay? And they're not symmetrical. Like, you would think if a person stood straight up, that their knees would be completely symmetrical on the same level. It's not.
Well,
and
they
I'm gonna
might also need a chiropractor.
I'll just
I don't
leave you
know,
with this.
like-
The next time you see a picture of a woman, like, especially in the summertime when their knees are actually out,
I'm like,
pay attention. You'll see one knee be 7 inches higher than the other knee.
no, not 7 inches. That's too much.
Think I'm joking?
Yes.
I'll watch right now. I'll just look up like I'll literally just type in like girls at the beach. Watch. I'm telling you, watch. Girls.
Yeah, I want to see this. But also,
at
I have
the
to,
beach.
I have to pee again. So.
Oh, okay. So then, I'll be right back. I found some really interesting shit when you type in. Okay, here's a perfect one right away. It's a girl, but look at her knees, disproportionate. Correct? Would you attest
Oh my
to that?
god, you're right.
Right? Just swipe through. Go ahead, swipe through. You'll see a few.
Well, a lot of them aren't showing their knees. It's just their butts. So.
2019, right?
Well.
Usually I wouldn't complain about that, but in this instance, it's not helping my case.
It's not. No. Oh my god, you're right. Wait. Why are they all
I've been
doing-
trying to
they're all
tell
doing
people.
Splits. What's going on?
I've been trying to tell people for years. I don't know what it is, but women's knees. I think a whole woman's body. I think all of our bodies are just not symmetrical. But the
It's
knees.
true. I don't think any of our bodies are symmetrical.
The knees, like I'm pretty sure girls have like one bigger boob than the other, and guys have like one bigger ball than the other.
Yes.
But
I don't know about the balls because I'm not, you know.
no,
not
dude,
staring
never
at
just
them
sit
for
there
that
and be
long.
like, yeah. You know, the left is a little bit bigger.
It's a lot of vodka. Woo.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Speaking of fucking balls, as disgusting as this is, okay. Yes, I understand women have to do with pregnancy, okay, but until you have, I'm not even talking about being kicked in the balls. Until you have sat on your own balls, you don't know pain. All right, and it happens. It's very rare, but sometimes it's usually like when you go to sit down somewhere, and sometimes just the way the motion. If you're naked, or if you just have like boxers on, right, and you have a lot of free swinging space for your nuts, and you go to sit,
Sure.
and your momentum goes from front to back or something, and they swing in just that way, and you sit down fast enough, boom. Oh, my cat's on the show now. my little skinny kitty.
You skin kid.
I still don't know. We were discussing. I don't know if my cat's a man or a woman. I thought it was a man, but I also just came across some paperwork that would suggest otherwise. So to be honest with you, I don't know.
Because it's like half and half. It was like
Dude, I'm not
one
even
said
gonna lie.
it was a male and one said it was a
I
female.
googled it too.
so-
I was like, dude, cats have penises, male cats, and it was like something about pin penis or some shit. I don't even know. Pin. What the fuck did it say? I don't remember it, but it was like they were like hidden. It's like not really there or some shit. So I'm like, I don't fucking know. I guess it's just a dude, I guess, right? But I don't know. So I have a transgender cat, guys. And its name is Ace, and you shall address it by they/them. Mm-hmm. That's appropriate, right? We were just discussing that because I didn't really understand how all that worked. So, but they, them.
Real cute.
He said, all right. That's why I think he kind of is a guy, though, because he's got that bass in his voice. Got that man's voice.
It could be really 50-50 because I know.
Got that lion cub's roar in him. He be chilling though. I used to hate cats. I used to really hate cats. Like, sincerely actually hated them. But now I'm coming around to cats, I think. I'm becoming a little bit of a cat person. He's super chill. He just loves people. Except for my nephew, who tried to
loving.
Throw him across the living room last time I was here. But,
got that arm.
Anyway, I don't know. I think we can wrap it up. You got anything else you want? Any final thoughts? Your handles. Let's drop your handles on Instagram. Are you only on Instagram now and Facebook? Mm-hmm. Nice. Probably for the better. Why'd you go to Snapchat? I'll let you finish. Let me just fill the time with some air. And now for a word from our sponsors. If you have ulcerative colitis and you need to not have ulcerative colitis or to get your ulcerative colitis under control, you should probably seek medical attention, as I'm sure that your doctor could give you better information. And if you don't know who your doctor is, or you don't have a doctor, Google it. And you're welcome for providing that information and those resources. And now I'm starting to run out of things to say.
Yep, I'm back.
And you're back. Okay, all right.
I'm back.
Why'd you go to Snapchat?
It was like one of those things where I just had like an extra social media that I was like, I don't really use it that much.
Oh, Snap is the best.
Snap is really fun, but also it's just like, I don't,
You know why Snap? Well, to be fair, I post a lot of stupid shit on
other
Snapchat.
People. You know?
The thing about Snapchat is that it's fresh content every day, I think, is the good part about it.
But I also thought it was weird when you had that location thing where you can like see
what I turned that shit off right away, though. People still do it. I'm like, why the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even look at I'll see it pop up on accident, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck where fucking Kelly is right now. I don't give a fuck that Kelly's in the fucking mountains with her boyfriend. Fuck you, Kelly.
Fuck you, Kelly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fuck you, Kelly.
Shout out to Kelly.
Shout out Kelly on the track. Kelly, hit me up.
You're a bitch.
Kelly, I miss you, bitch. Kelly, fuck you, I miss you.
Kelly.
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 Kelly. We swear we did not do drugs before this podcast. We're just fucking weird.
Yeah, we're just
but no, I like Snapchat
like
because it's fucking, it's fresh content every day. Like, you never see the same old shit.
True.
You know.
Yeah.
There's nothing
and you
worse.
You can't see past shit, so it's like.
But there's nothing worse though than going on somebody's Instagram page and it's like a selfie from like 2016. You're just like, fucking upload something. It's been 2 years.
Oh, like that's their first post. It's like,
yeah, it's like it's like their most recent post is like 2016. Yeah. Like, fucking upload something. Give us a little something.
Give us a little spice.
You know, but I don't use Instagram stories enough. I probably should start 2 more though. I also like Snapchat because it's just like the best place for like rants and like quick talk videos and shit. Right. As opposed to like everything I post on Instagram
and
is
then
like
it's
a fucking
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, and then everything I post on Instagram is like a planned out skit.
Instagram stories are kind of like Snapchat.
I know I've been posting a little bit more of them, and I actually get more views on the Instagram stories than the Snapchat ones. But did I tell you how Did I tell you how I got my Snapchat views up? So I talked about this on the podcast. Now I go on Tinder, and I've noticed a lot of women put their Snapchats in their Tinder. Mm-hmm. So I will go through Tinder one day and just swipe a lot, screenshot anybody who's got a username, and then add them, and a lot of them will add you back. And then they start watching, and I'm like, well, now I've got somebody.
So you're okay with the strangers?
Oh yeah.
In there,
but it's been that way for a while. I've had a public fucking
you're
comedy page for a long time now. So
like the opposite.
I used to have like a personal Instagram, and then I repurposed it for a social media platform that fell apart after I stopped caring 3 days later. So that's another one of my failed ventures. I had this whole plan. I was gonna start like a media outlet, and I reconverted my page, rebranded and everything, posted on it for a few days. That's all. That's it. That's where the story is. That's it. We got nothing after that. I even have a separate page for the podcast, but then I realized I was like, why would I do that?
Right, yeah, I just had like the same.
It's not. I mean, if this thing blows up, that'd be fucking awesome. Maybe I'll go back to it. But for now, I'm like, people will just listen from the link. The thing that sucks is that, so I didn't realize this, but like on my page, I've been able to do this for as long as I can remember. I can attach a link in my story. You could do it on, anybody could do it on Snapchat, but apparently on Instagram, I guess you have to have 10,000 plus, which I didn't know that. I've always had that, so I just thought everybody could do it. But I went to do it on the podcast page, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? Yeah. I was trying to attach the link for the episode. I'm like, why the fuck is this working? I looked it up, it's like, you have to have 10,000 plus. I'm like, That's fucking whack.
That's super whack.
Like anybody could do it on
but
Snapchat.
If you're like a small business, I don't know. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like, damn, I gotta have 10,000. That's a lot of fucking people.
That's
like,
a lot, yeah.
that's super whack. So now I was like, you know, fuck it, I'll just do it on my regular story because I need to attach the links to it.
Yeah, I
so
feel like I only have like 1,400 or something like that.
Did I tell you?
Which is a lot for me.
I put a picture up yesterday of this old
It's just
post.
me, my cat, and food, and me being stupid when I'm drunk. Really, that's what my.
I think that's my favorite part about your social media. That's probably my favorite part. That's the one. That's the good thing though about Snap. That's the best place to be drunk is on Snapchat.
See, that's my Instagram story though. That's
that is
exactly
true.
What it
that
is.
is fair.
That's exactly what my Instagram story is. Just me being stupid.
And I feel like
when I'm drunk.
I feel like you have the weirdest shit happen to you. Like I feel like the most unlikely things happen to you. Like every day, you post something and it'll just be like some weird shit. Like ran into some guy today who smacked me with a noodle or some shit like that. Like some
Did
weird
I tell you about
shit.
the chowder guy?
No, but
Oh
I'm
my
excited
God.
to hear about this though.
So when I was walking uptown to meet my friend Amanda at Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
and I was passing by like BSP and all that, and I went to go like cross the street, and this dude was like, just like slapped me in the face.
You
with
can just
his
kind of
tail.
like, yeah.
Oh.
No.
Okay. There you go. We're gonna put you there.
He got that fucking meow like he's been through some shit.
Oh,
He's got that
I
meow
know.
like he's seen some fucking things, man.
He was in the war. So I was walking across the street and this dude was like, "Hey, Chowda!" And I looked at him and I was like,
What?
and he was like, "Oh my God, you are not who I thought you were." And I was like, "No, I have no idea."
Wait, so was he addressing you as Chowder?
He was addressing me as Chowder.
He's like, hey,
He
Chowder!
was like, "Hey, Chowder!" And I was like,
Here's my question. Okay.
I was like,
Imagine a person who even looks remotely like you being actually called Chowder.
I think that's like a kind of badass name though. Like
Who does, yo, what's your
don't
name?
make me call Chowder.
Don't
like,
fuck with Chowder.
Please do not call Chowder.
Hey,
like,
buddy, I just fucking talked to Chowder on the phone.
You want me to call Chowder?
You want me to fucking call
You want me to
Chowder?
call Chowder?
I'm gonna fucking tell you something, guy. You don't fuck with Chowder. He's no fucking...
I personally would not fuck with Chowder.
He's no fucking chicken noodle. This is fucking Chowder. Did you see that video?
New England.
There was this video of this guy who was impersonating Tony Soprano from The Sopranos.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, why did I just say it two different ways? I don't know.
Well, I mean, you said Tony Soprano from The
I think it's
Sopranos,
because I was
and
trying to say it like
we'd
the
all
American
think
way, and then I
that
said Soprano. Tony Soprano from The Sopranos.
Sopranos.
Anyway, he was like, he gets in the video and he's like, hey, he's like, where's the friggin' gabagool? And then he was like this, he was like, you motherfucker. I was just fucking dying at that shit. He said, where's the freaking gabagool? And he's like, you motherfucker. I was like, that shit is on point, yo. But if you guys don't know, I'm half Italian, and I really be around some Italians, man, some OG Italians, and they deadass like hands, like sign language was invented by Italians. Like they might not know it, but like they don't have planned out letters, but it's like this. If somebody goes like this, and I fucking tell you, this guy was over here and he looks like a fucking stew knot. That's really how it be. I love it. I love it.
That's like one of the things me and you have in common because you're like half black and half Italian. Right?
Yeah, I think most people. So what have you got? This is the list. No bullshit of things I've gotten. Dominican, which I think is fair. I think that's
Dominican,
a fair one.
I get immediately.
Dominican, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Samoan, Hawaiian. I think those are pretty fair. Also,
I feel like the Samoan
Eskimo.
really has to do with your size, though.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Like I look like fucking Maui's stepbrother or something like that. So yeah, but I think the Hawaiian and the Samoan just have to do that. Like I look like a dude who would live on the fucking beach and be like,
Right,
"Hey,
yeah.
mahalo."
Like the surfboard just being buff.
But I think everything. But here's the thing about like when I'm half black and half Italian, so I have dark skin tone with Italian features, which is basically Hispanic. So I think that's why a lot of people confuse it. But yeah, I think you've probably gotten some wild shit too.
Oh, working at a bar, like
People like, hey, where you from,
people
girl?
don't
Somalia?
even say hello. They don't even say like, oh, let me guess.
Like,
Sometimes
damn,
I'm
are
just,
you
like-
from the Amazon?
Sometimes I just like walk up and I'm like, oh, what can I get you? And they're like, wait. And immediately I'm like,
Hold on. Are you from? Let me just guess.
immediately I'm like, do I think they're gonna tip well? How do I treat this person?
And
Because
like,
all I say is wait,
what?
and then I'm like, just waiting for it. I'm like,
What do they say? Like,
the last time this happened, it was like, yeah, I just walked up and I was like, oh, like, can I get, like, I already served him water or whatever, and I was like, gave him the menu, and I came back and I was like, oh, can I get you something to drink? And he's like, wait, and I was like, and he goes, Jamaica.
he literally just fucking like.
And I was like, what? And
It's
he was like, no.
Caribbean, definitely Caribbean.
He said Peru, and I said,
First of all, those two things aren't
I
even
said,
alike.
excuse me? And he goes, well, where are you from? And
As if you owe it to him to give him a fucking
And I was
answer.
like, New York. And he was like, no, where are you from? And I was like, upstate New York.
Dude, I have lived here my whole fucking life. Like, you were born in some
like,
other country and shipped over here.
And I was like, yeah, there are black people up there. It's crazy.
It's like, wait a minute. You have
They really
blacks?
let them do whatever they want up there. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's,
Hello.
he's trying to steal his show.
You can't even see him, though. He's
Them-
just like, you just see his, like, tail.
Shim is, herm is, thems. We don't know how to, just call my cat Ace. It rolls its tongue like Ace. Get over here, Ace. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I thought it was helpful hardware store.
Wait, Ace is the place with the helpful hardware store?
I thought it was the helpful
Ace is the place that's the helpful hardware store. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware.
Folks?
Yeah, it definitely ain't folks, is it? Ace is the place with the helpful hardware. I feel like it's supposed to be store, but it doesn't. Goddamn, now I gotta look it up. Ace is the place. I'm just gonna look up Ace is the place. Let's see. Somebody is listening to this who knows what it is, and they're like, you fucking idiots.
Fucking assholes.
Oh, here we go. Ace hardware jingle. All right, let's figure it out. Here we go.
Alright.
I do not own this.
Place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It was.
Oh,
it was
is
folks.
folks.
Ace
Oh,
is the
fuck.
place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Can you imagine being known as a hardware folk?
It's like, what do you do for a living? I've been a hardware folk for 14 years. You need a fucking hammer. You need a screwdriver, Phillips head, flathead. I'll give you whatever you fucking need. Tape measure? Ask me where it is. You need me to cut a key for you? I can do that too.
I can get that done at the
Fuck.
FedEx.
You want logs? You need logs? Firewood?
Logs.
Oak? What do you want? Oak, maple? I'll fucking help you with whatever you need.
That's a really good accent.
Fucking get it all for you. What else?
It's the bass. I think the bass really helps you. Like,
Excuse me, ma'am. You know what? You look like the type of woman who would love to repaint her house. Let me show you where we can get you the best fucking Bear Premium Primer. Right? You head to the back of the store with me. You tell him Jim Bob took care of you. You tell him you know Jim. Next time you come here, you tell me you know Jim Bob. Ask for me. Tell him. Say, Jim Bob, I need primer.
that is so good.
Scene.
And scene.
Yo, you know what's funny? I was actually considering looking around places to do improv. I just don't, for some reason, even though I think I'd actually be good at it, I never wanted to do stand-up. I don't know why. Even though I love storytelling.
I can't do stand-up. I wish I could do stand-up.
And it's not even
because
about,
I
like, the
think I'm
crowds,
funny,
nothing. I
but,
just
like,
I don't know. Like, I just would rather do, I think improv is so much fun because I like to think of shit off the fly. Like, just that right there. Like, I just love doing shit like that. So, be on the lookout for Unreal Improv, which will probably last for 3 days before it folds like all of my other business ventures. Anyway, all right. I think that's better. We're just under 2 hours. Nice.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Nice. Anyway, Instagram at
man.destroyer.
Man.destroyer. So men.
Also known as
Beware.
Day.
Also known as
I
Day.
play for both teams, so hit me up, ladies.
All right. Well, that's all I need to fucking hear. Anyway, that's it for now. More guests. Welcome to 2020, folks. Even though it's before 2020, so
2020, the year
welcome
of
to the year of the
clarity.
Alexa.
2020.
What animal is the year of 2020? I don't even think I phrased that right.
According to an Amazon customer, in the Chinese zodiac, 2020 is a year of the gold rat. Starting from January 25th, 2020.
Welcome to the year of Tekashi.
February 11th.
That's why he's getting fucking freed. Think about it. 2020, year of the gold rat. Tekashi 6ix9ine, rat. 2020, Tekashi
I didn't even
confirmed.
know gold rat was a thing. I knew like rat was a thing, but like
Yeah, damn, they got
gold
colors
rat.
now. Next year's like the fucking year of the pink dog or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, 2020 is here. It's the year of the gold dog, and it's also the year of me having friends and guests on the podcast.
It's gonna be a good ass year.
And guess what? I only had to pay her $10,000 to pretend to be my friend.
That's it. Pocket change.
So,
if anyone else wants to hire me,
10 G's, bitch.
that's it.
All right, yeah. Well, that's where I'm ending for today, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.
Bye.
And peace from my cat also.